Okay. I had no idea how to categorize this game on Twitch, so I put it as like a Jeff the Killer game, which I do want to play that eventually, but for now, we are playing 2 dating sims today for creepypasta. This one I've seen a little bit on, but not a lot. I've also already played Bloody Painter, so I'm also hoping this isn't too loud. Also, his eyes move with the cursor. It is so creepy. But yeah, no, I was like, you know what? Let's play Oh, easy mode's on? Album? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna do my best. I promise. Alright. The room was silent, illuminated by the warm midday light filtering through the window. You looked anywhere but at your therapist. You didn't yet feel comfortable enough to speak freely. Oh my gosh. Let me give a little bit of time for people to like filter in a little bit. But for YouTube people, I love creepypasta. Of course. I post some shorts and stuff of like Slenderman, some funny little stuff, right? And well, my last game I played Slenderman, collecting the 8 pages, which I might try again to try and get, but it's such I can't handle horror games, but I can handle dating sims. This one I've seen like a little bit on, like I said before, just a tiny bit. But it's not like a totally regular dating sim. I'm not quite sure, but it looks interesting. It might be a little difficult to earn his trust. Attending these sessions felt like a chore, more than for your own good. It seemed like a way to keep an eye on you. You know, you have no obligation to talk about him. The therapist watched you patiently, leaning calmly against the back of his armchair. You could talk about whatever you want. You scoffed, ironically, offering no reply. It had been 7 days, enough time for someone to change, don't you think? Instinctively, you raised your hand to the left side of your face, where a patch covered your left eye. Oh. He hurt you. There's no doubt about it. The police, the hospital, everyone has their vision, but I want yours. You shrugged. That's fine. Silence is an answer. You looked towards the window. Your reflection silhouette was visible in the glass. Even though you couldn't see yourself clearly, your posture and expression were noticeably different from a week ago. Day 1. I will say the music is really loud. I'm gonna turn that down. Still leave it kind of there, but it's loud. But we're gonna keep it turned down a little bit. Text speed, a little bit more. Okay. Let's return. You have a clear routine. Wake up, work, and sleep. I don't know what the other thing said. I'm so sorry. You have no legacy, no ambitions, no pending matters. You fulfilled your duties as a student and finished school. But you lack the motivation to pursue a dream or a goal beyond where you are now. You feel as if you don't have a starring role in the world, because nothing special has happened to you yet. In fact, one could say you let apathy guide you. An apathy that numbs your strong emotions. Oh, we're so edgy. A roller coaster? Pleasant. You trip and fall face first in public? Not the end of the world. Positive or negative, your emotional range is very low. Like a perfect blank canvas. Anyway, you try to make your life as comfortable as possible. As strange as it sounds, you work at a video store that only attracts nostalgics and cinephiles? You love movies. I love movies, so you love movies. The main reason you took the job is because you like it. You could spend hours watching movies and never get bored. The place is colorful enough not to depress you just by being there. And if you're lucky, you might run into an interesting character or two. Of course, besides the characters that already exist. Oh, Sydney! Oh, you're so cute! Oh, you're so adorable. Oh, I didn't know pressing that would. Okay. Catching up on time? For a moment, I thought you wouldn't come. Cindy, your coworker. She's not very good at her job, which is saying a lot since being an attendant at a time-lost store doesn't require much effort. But she's the owner's daughter. You're the other full-time employee, and you do well. You two don't get along great, nor terribly. You tolerate each other. Where's your badge? Instinctively, you reach for your neck, and indeed, your employee badge wasn't there. It's strange, but I feel like I can't see your name without your badge. Cindy shrugged and retreated to the back room with a full box of movies. Somehow, what she said made sense. It was as if you couldn't remember your own name unless it was written right in front of you. As if names only existed if someone spoke them aloud. Well, you remember taking it out of your things when you arrived, so it was most likely still in the store. Oh! Let's take a look at the counter. You checked behind the counter. Nothing on the floor. Aisle 1. Among the shelves full of action movies, your badge is nowhere to be found. Okay, aisle 2. You leaned down to try and get a better look at the floor, hoping your badge was around somewhere. You moved down the small aisle, determined, past shelves packed with horror and thriller movies. Hey, nice! Until you spotted the unmistakable piece of plastic, almost at the end of the aisle. You're reaching for the badge. Oop, make sure that stood off, sorry guys. You're reaching for your badge, but a white hand got there first, slowly picking up the plastic piece. It's Jeff. You looked up and found yourself facing a tall-headed man with his face covered. He looked like a potential criminal or someone with a bad cold, but you didn't have the energy to worry. You straightened up and standing face to face. The man seemed to ignore you, more interested in your badge in his hand. Is this yours? His voice, muffled by the fabric, was deep and slightly raspy. You nodded slightly, or silently, looking at the man suspiciously. By the way, he cocked his head. My bad. Prove it. Or yeah, no, I can't like. Would this be better? Hold on. Prove it. No. Prove it. Prove it. I have no idea how that's. Wait, let me like. I need to hear it on my stream. Prove it. Prove it? Oh no, wait. Prove it? No, you guys can hear me. What's up with my... Why can't I hear audio on my, on this end? Oh, there it is. So weird. Like it's me. So weird. Ooh. Prove it. Prove it. I can do that, maybe. Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay. Now you can finally visualize your name. Your name is Mareki. Mareki? Mareki. Yeah. The man looked at the badge in silence, and for a moment you truly thought you might have been wrong after all. But then he offered you the piece of plastic. Alright, Mareki. I'm trying to cover it like he has his face covered. He took the badge in your hands, giving the guy a look. Thank him. I mean, he found it, kind of. Thanks, mister. Don't call me that. I'm not that old. Sorry, but I have no way of knowing when I can't see your face. Oh. I guess you have a point. Besides, from the skin on your hands, I could tell you're not exactly a young fella. Yeah, I get it. The guy's voice sounded irritated. A part of you said you should be more sweet with customers, but if you managed to annoy him with your chatter, You could consider it an achievement. This guy gave you bad vibes. You silently put the badge around your neck while he remained motionless in his spot. You slowly moved towards the counter. The guy stared at you as you moved, which only made your discomfort worse. You decided to ignore him, shifting your attention to one of the monitors next to you. You could, if the hooded guy from before would stop wandering around the store so suspiciously. You tried your best to ignore him, but it was impossible not to notice. Maybe he was doing it on purpose. Hey, Mareki. At the sound of your name, you looked at Cindy. She's so cute, and I love her little earring. You looked at Cindy, who had come around the corner to stand next to you. Did you see that guy? He's been here for a long time. You looked where she was subtly pointing, and of course, she was talking about the same guy. Yeah, I saw him. You shrugged, a very logical reaction, right? Maybe he's deciding what to buy. He was probably just a weirdo you'd see once, no big deal. Anyway, Cindy, as annoying as she was, wasn't easily flustered. He's just a weirdo. We see those every day. But this one feels different. You were starting to believe Cindy had watched many movies, but then you remembered she didn't like cinema and only worked in her dad's store. When I talked to him, he didn't seem dangerous. Cindy turned to you, surprised. You talked to him? Did you say something? Did he say anything strange? No. He just gave me back my badge. Why did he have it? I mean, he grabbed it first. Look, it wasn't a big deal. Cindy looked at you in silence for a few seconds and sighed. If it makes you uncomfortable, I can ask him to leave. Cindy shook her head, glancing at the guy. You're probably right. Okay, I'll leave you to it. I'll go check the inventory. Sure. You settled into your designated chair, and before you could pretend to look at receipts, Cindy spoke again. But if he does anything suspicious, let me know, okay? He nodded slightly. Cindy didn't wait for a verbal response. She just went back to her task. You kept your eyes fixed on the monitor screen for a moment. Out of the corner of your eye, you glanced at the dials. The guy was still there, just standing. He was at a shelf that held nothing particularly interesting. And then he looked at you. It wasn't a quick or distracted glance. It was direct. Okay, meet his gaze. Oh. You returned his gaze with the same intensity. You didn't know if you were doing it out of bravery, stubbornness, or simple curiosity. Well, he's the one staring first. But he didn't blink, and then he made a slight gesture, an almost imperceptible nod of the head, as if he were greeting you. You decided to ignore him, turning your attention back to the monitors to remove the CD from the player. As you put the CD back in its case, you looked at your options. Horror. That gave me a heart. I just like horror in general. You enjoy the scares and the atmosphere that horror movies create. You were about to pick a movie until the sudden sound of someone leaning on the counter in front of you distracted you. Oh. Again, the stranger was there, this time in front of you, looking intently at the CD in your hands. What movie are you going to put on? Oh, my bad. What movie are you going to put on? Excuse me? I want to know what movie you're going to put on. Is that a crime? No, of course not, but come on, I'm undecided. Maybe you can inspire me. You look at him in silence for a moment, then sighed with weariness. Ooh! Black Swan. I've seen that one. The Exorcist. Scream. Tremors. Paranormal Activity. Pulse. Or The Thing. Ooh. Is this one gonna give me a heart depending on what I pick? Okay. What year is this, first of all? I need to know how old these movies are to him. Well, there's 2010. So The Exorcist, that's Ghost. Tremors, I don't believe I've seen before. Which one is this? Tremors. Oh, it's oh, I remember now. Yeah, it's them in the sand or something. I recognize. Scream? I really like Scream. The Exorcist is kind of boring. Black Swan, I'm pretty sure that's the one with the vampire girl. Maybe, I might be wrong. The Thing has the, like, that's sci-fi. Pulse, I kind of remember, but I like Scream. Oh. A classic slasher. Oh, yes! Oh, yes, it is, I suppose. Interesting. Well, did that help you decide? The guy cocked his head. Now you knew for sure that was his way of showing mockery. A little. Though what caught my... Oh my gosh. Though what caught my attention most was the genre you chose. You raised an eyebrow. Oh, yeah? What about it? Horror. His tone dropped. Interesting choice. It always says something about the person who prefers it. Like what? That you're looking to feel something real. Or you want fear to have a face. Something you can understand even if it means danger. His words were soft, but they pricked the little needles under your skin. Or maybe I like strong emotions without putting myself at risk like everyone else. But you're not like everyone else. Oh, cliche. I'm not like anyone else. Because at the beginning it was like, oh, my emotions, they don't exist. Oh, I'm so edgy. Well, that phrase needs to be removed from the visual novel bingo card. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I didn't even... Okay, that's great. He moved a little closer to the counter. History. My bad. He moved a little closer to the counter. He didn't invade your space, but it was as if he caressed it. Oh! Caressed? I like Jeff. Don't worry, but like... Caress? God. You don't seem to be scared. Should I be? Depends. Do you prefer to see horror from the outside, or have it stare back at you? Go with it. I guess it depends on how pretty the face of horror is. That's an interesting way to put that. He tilted his head slightly, as if you had something he didn't quite expect, but he didn't seem surprised either. Wow. Keep in mind that sometimes pretty things bite too. He glanced at the shelves for a second, as if looking for something, but it was obvious he wasn't. Or maybe you would like to be bitten. Who knows? He shrugged, as if downplaying his own words. He extended a finger and drew circles on the counter surface. He was pretending to think, ignoring you, but aware of your presence. For your mental sanity's sake, you need to hurry him up. I'm so scared I'm gonna mess up. Yeah, let's save here. That does feel like a really good spot to save. Let's be direct. Oh, okay. He likes that, I guess. Hey, buddy, could you hurry it up? What's the rush? There aren't many other customers besides me. Do you even want to buy anything? The guy chuckled. I'm just indecisive. I'm not bothering anyone. You glanced back, searching for Cindy, not just to feel some security that you weren't on your own. But unfortunately, you didn't see her anywhere. Oh, but don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, I hope she's not dead. That'd be terrible. I don't want her to be dead. Then, without you asking, he reached a hand over the counter. Oh, we have a name now. Oh, look at that. I'm Jeff. I think it's time we formally introduce ourselves, don't you, Mareki? Your gaze dropped his hand. Take his hand. Jeff held your hand gently, as if wanting to make his touch seem harmless. Cute. Cute. His fingers didn't squeeze, but they didn't pull away either. The coldness of the gesture didn't seem to bother him. On the contrary, it amused him. He finally let go of your hand, like someone dropping something they didn't expect it enough. As someone who works in a store, you should convince the customer to buy as much as possible. But something told you Jeff would take his sweet time. You watched him in silence for a few seconds, observing his thoughtful posture. If he was insistent on prolonging the interaction, you were allowed to make him uncomfortable too, right? Let's not save there. Let's save. Nope, there. I don't want to ask if he's single. It's a dating sim. It's pretty obvious he's probably single. What do you do for work? Let's ask what's up with the bandana. What do you want to know? Curiosity. Does it hurt? Why would it hurt? Curiosity. I have scars. They're not pleasant to see. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I'm so sorry. What do you do for work? Huh? You're right. I don't know. Are you single? Stumbles in place, turning his gaze to you. He remained silent for a few seconds. No, I can't pick that one. Okay, let's go back here. What's up with the bandana? Does it hurt? Oh, thank God I went back. Okay, +2 for that one. Does it hurt? It doesn't anymore. That's what matters. You weren't one to meddle in other people's affairs, but you had already established a conversation with him. You couldn't just not care. Well, did you decide what to get? Jeff refocused his attention on you. Wow, it seems like you really want to get rid of me. Answer. Wait. I'll overwrite that one. Answer sarcastically. Woo. No, not at all. I love wasting time with weirdos who walk in circles as if they're lost in the supermarket. Just eyes widened, feigning offense. Hey, what does that mean? You're going to make me cry. Yeah, right. He clutched his chest dramatically, then chuckled again. This time his laugh was softer, more genuine. I don't know if this is funny because I talked to you or because I ruined your day. The statement came out with unsettling frankness. You didn't know how to react, but you knew that in the end, Jeff had done things on purpose. Well, at least you admit you weren't exactly a delight. Sure, I'm not an idiot. I know what kind of reaction I get from people. Jeff shrugged, then tilted his head, questioning and mocking. Do you treat all customers like this, or am I special? You couldn't help but let out a small laugh at his words. You know what? I don't usually spend... I'm getting hair from the blanket in my mouth. You know what? I don't usually spend so much energy on strangers, but you earned it. Jeff straightened up suddenly, pleased, as if he'd been told he achieved a great feat. I'll take it. For a moment, you thought Jeff meant he appreciated your words, until you noticed his eyes were fixed on the movie you had chosen to put in the player. Oh, great. You said with relief. Finally, Jeff would take something. And it was something you knew he liked. You felt good about doing your job well after all. Thanks for shopping with us. Jeff nodded, taking the movie in its bag, and headed for the exit. It was a pleasure, Maraki. Ah! He waved goodbye, and you reciprocated with your own hand. Though, not as enthusiastically as his. Well, you managed to sell something to the weirdo of the day. It was an accomplishment after all. Your workday was over. All in all, it was quiet. Night had fallen, but there was no reason to worry since he lived a few blocks away. Some things were just convenient like that. This week, it was Cindy's turn to close out the store. Since you two had almost the same position, you decided that closing duties would be by turns. So you had your things ready to go home. Are you going to be okay? Sure, why wouldn't I be? That guy seemed a little fixated on you. You scoffed ironically. Come on me? Yeah, I don't get it either. Okay. Ouch. Cindy, I'm being a little... You are very pretty, but I don't need to be a bitch. But what if he follows you? That's not going to happen. He left hours ago, but there's no way he stayed lurking around here. I don't know. Oh. I don't know. Your danger sensor isn't very accurate, I'd say. Danger is subjective. That's not true. Why do you care so much? I thought you hated me. Cindy was surprised by your words. She averted her gaze, playing with the mop handle she had in her hands to clean before closing. I don't hate you. I just think maybe being with you is boring. Yeah, well, you're not exactly a life of the party. I don't mean it in a bad way, really. I feel peaceful with you. Oh. Your disregard for everything could be tiresome, but it was almost also comforting in a way. You scratched your head, not knowing how to react to Cindy's words. She had never said anything nice to you until now. Cindy cleared her throat, looking away with an embarrassed grimace. What I mean is, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. Aw. You took a step forward and placed your hand on her shoulder, smiling calmly. I'll be fine. Just because something weird happened doesn't mean the universe has to decide to turn against me. What is going on in my group chat? Also, I'm trying to hydrate my lips because the blanket was rubbing. Wow, Pokemon. Dang. Ah, why did I do that? No. Oh, that's a show I gotta watch again. H2O, like the mermaids and stuff. Oh, okay. Starting to feel a lot better. Okay. You shared a final farewell gesture before you closed the door behind you. The store sign indicated it was closed, and you sighed, feeling the weight of adult life in a capitalist world lift a little from your shoulders. Just a little. It was part of the routine, saying goodbye to Cindy and finally going home. You lived on your own since you started working, so you had no extra responsibilities to worry about, which gave you space to focus on your own needs. It wasn't an extraordinary life, but it was functional. You worked during the week, earned money for the rent and bills, and rested on weekends. Even though the street was well lit, the atmosphere remained gloomy as you walked towards your apartment. It had always been like this, nothing to fear, right? Well, that was a change in atmosphere. It was then that you felt your arm being pulled violently to one side. Maybe you should have been more alert. You were dragged into an alley. Oh my god, this has changed so fast. Beside the street. It was slightly darker, but a street light nearby allowed you to diminish what was in front of you. Since the sudden action disoriented you, you were slow to react. What the fuck? The sound of a slight blow to the side of your head interrupted you, and you realized the person had cornered you against the brick wall behind you. You glanced at the person's arm, a familiar white sleeve covering an arm reaching from your blind spot. You grew tired of the suspense and finally looked up at the person who had cornered you, and you had an idea of who it might be. Wow, they came like little fangs. Look at that. Oop, I don't need to do this anymore. Yay! Mareki, we meet again. Uncertainty filled you at the sight of a white, scarred face. Jeff had removed his hood and bandana, revealing his face. This looks great. His skin varied in colors and textures. His nose was sunken. His milky blue eyes were deep set in dark circles, and you were certain you hadn't seen him blink once. But what caught your attention most was the scar that ran across his mouth. It didn't look like a clean cut, but the way it distorted distorted his expression sent they shivered down your spine. You assumed his face would have imperfections. He'd want to hide to avoid stares from strangers, but considering the bizarre situation, it wasn't surprising. Jeff? Certainly, you were at a disadvantage here, so you tried to think of ways to turn the tables. Wow, who would have thought at night, someone alone, gloomy alley, a classic. Jeff chuckled at your sarcasm. You don't drag that act, huh? Oh! Lovely! I'm gonna die, I'm so funny. Then he pulled a knife from his hoodie pocket. Now, make sure you give me a good show. His voice was raspy, accelerated, with an anxious tone. He seemed impatient. A show? Fear is exquisite, he whispered, almost and unnecessarily poetically, leaning towards you, his breath grazed your face. Hey, no offense, but your whole approach feels cliché. Very cliché. Jeff tilted his head to the side. You would have sworn it was his equivalent of raising an eyebrow, if he had eyebrows. This isn't the time for jokes, don't you think? Yeah, well, I really don't know what motivated you to attack me. I thought we were getting along. Jeff pressed the width of the blade against your cheek, the cold metal against your warm skin. Are you asking what makes you special? Is being special having you drag me into a dark alley? Wow, you must not be very popular. Jeff snorted in annoyance. Jesus. He grabbed your shoulder with the hand that had cornered you and slammed you against the wall behind you. You felt your head hit the rough texture of the head surface, or the hard surface, making you wince. Oh, no, don't open anything. Let me save this. There we go. Return here. Don't open. Get rid of that. Get out of here. We saved, right? Yeah, we saved. Okay. I'm going to tease him. Oh, no! That's awful. I live! It says you live. I get to live. I don't want to say that. Harder. Oh my god. Jeff released you and stepped back a couple of paces as if you burned him. Oh, he's got piercings! Look at that. His expression reflected surprise, as if it was a bigger reaction than you expected. Relax, I'm just kidding. That wasn't funny. It was to me. Shut up. This shouldn't be funny. You should be afraid. Jeff approached again, raising the knife to your neck. Instinctively, you pulled away from the blade, feeling the tip pierce your chin. You're in an alley, at night, with a knife at your throat. So, I'll ask you again. Are you afraid? Nah. Shit. Fuck Jeff. He didn't feel like dealing with a sadistic madman. Keep participating. Jeff's smile fell subtly. Oh? So that's how it is? Oh, I knew it! I fucked up. A sharp, intense pain that branched from your stomach to your fingertips invaded you, taking your breath away. Your voice caught in your throat. I'm not gonna. Jeff's uncontrolled laughter was the only thing you heard. It truly sounded like he was having fun. He kept you on your feet with your hand on your shoulder, but you felt him let go. You inevitably fell to the ground, feeling cold, very cold. Your limbs felt heavy, and you couldn't open your eyes no matter how hard you tried. You didn't hold Jeff back. Jeff, you killed me. How could you? How could you? And this is easy mode and I still died. Okay, tease him. Okay, no, I don't want it to skip anymore. There we go. Yeah. You live! Jeff hadn't made much of an impression on you. You were aware your situation was dangerous, but it really couldn't matter less to you. But anyway, it seemed fun to see what would happen if you messed with him. For now, you decided to play along. You know what? Yes, I'm afraid. Jeff recovered his spirits, extending his wide smile. He lowered the knife, but kept it in his hand. He wasn't threatening you. Maybe he wanted to keep having fun with you. Good, good. That's what I wanted to hear. Typical. Now, what scares you about me? Evidently, Jeff enjoyed seeing fear in his victims. For now, you managed to keep him happy enough to maintain a conversation with you, but maybe he wanted to dig deeper. Perhaps he liked knowing in detail what he provoked in his victims. That's funny. But, can you accept the challenge of indulging him? Sure. Let me save again, though. What did he exactly ask me? That's funny. What scares you about me? Well, not the face. His face is fine. His voice is fine. He's going to kill me. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. With surprise. Jeff didn't seem to appreciate your sarcasm, but he took it well. I could think of a few. This is more fun than I thought it would be. Anyway, why are you attacking me? Jeff stared at you in silence for a few seconds, his smile static. You felt like demanding he blink. I think killing you will be fun. Great. You had hoped he was just a simple thief going through an angsty teenage phase and only wanted to scare you, but it turns out he was a madman who genuinely intended to murder you. You hit the jackpot. Yeah, sure. And I thought I had won your heart. Oh, that takes a lot more than just one day. That seemed like useful information. But for the future, I did notice there's like a week or something. For the future, you should focus on surviving now. I know. Let's play a game. Play what? A simple game of tag. What happens if I win? I'll let you go. Oh, really now? That's what you'd like me to say. Oh, fuck. Never mind. He was an idiot. A very dangerous idiot. You had to choose carefully. I chase you. Okay, let's overwrite this one. I chase you. Oh, that actually worked? Are you serious? Jeff stumbled over his words, not having expected that response. Jeff straightened up over you, analyzing you in silence. His face was strangely expressionless. You assumed because with his mouth mangled, as it was, he was condemned to having the same expression permanently. Oh my god, suddenly you felt your neck squeezed tightly, making it hard to breathe. There's a little bug in here. Instinctively, you raise your hands and pull at Jeff's arm, an impulse from your body to try and fight. Fear me. The complaint sounded almost childish, despite coming from a threatening man. You tried to respond, anything, but your vocal cords were being squeezed too tightly. You managed to hear his murmur before you felt the pressure on your neck release. His hand remained on your neck, but only pressed enough to immobilize you. You coughed and gasped for air, trying to recover your breath. But then you realized Jeff was again almost on top of you, knife in hand. You felt a pang of pain in your cheek, but it was for an instant. Jeff made a clean cut on the skin of your left cheek. You felt the tickle of a thin line of blood running down your jaw. Why aren't you afraid? Jeff examined you in silence, as if looking at your reaction would give him a satisfying answer. It wasn't as if you didn't really feel anything. You recognized the situation was dangerous. Your body knew it from the strong pounding of your heart. But as it had been from the start, you didn't care. Oh, I'm such an edgelord. He wanted you to fear him, but since he was threatening your life and you didn't truly care about dying, consequently you didn't fear him. So I'm saying I don't care. Defy him. You looked him directly in the eyes. So much drama for this? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die again! Jeff's mouth twisted. You're just a generic killer stalking your victim and taking him into an alley. If you wanted to make a better impression, you could be more original. Suddenly, Jeff's extended mouth quirked up a strange sight. Oh god. It's hard to see, but... Fuck. I knew it! Ah! Jeff plunged the knife below your ribs, taking your breath away. He leaned over your ear. You're a fighter, aren't you? Blood rose in your throat, choking you. God. But it seemed like he interpreted your defiance as a way to fight for your life. That wasn't really the case, but you resigned yourself. Fuck, shit, damn it. You're prolonging the inevitable. Give up. I'm surprised giving up helps you live. It's like you gotta go back and forth from like, and then giving up, but Jeff, make up your mind. You lowered your gaze, but not out of fear. Rather, out of weariness. What would you leave behind if you died? Not much, so you don't care anymore. I'm sorry, Jeff, but I don't have fear to give you. Jeff remained silent for a second until you noticed his smile suddenly widen. He slowly leaned towards you and licked your wounded cheek, wiping away the line of blood. His breath brushed against your skin, warm and damp. The touch of his tongue burned on the wound, making you hiss. You could accept him licking you, he was just being weird. But you couldn't shake off what he wanted to tell you with that action. I don't know. I'm gonna get killed again. I'm gonna die again. I don't know if I should plead. I tease him. Tease! Okay. Lick me? How romantic. I'm melting. Maybe if you tease him enough, he'll leave you alone. You had to try. Damn. Jeff growled through gritted teeth, slamming you against the brick wall again. You let out a groan of pain from the impact. Why don't you fear me? I don't know. What do you want me to say, Jeff? I don't know what you want me to say, Jeff. Jeff lowered his head, seemingly disappointed. You glanced around hesitantly, not knowing what to do. Oh my god, all this talking. Delicious. Also, I'm looking down here just to check on my doggy. She's so cute. A little ball, little cutie. But then he straightened up again, his smile so wide, his lips were taut. There's nothing I can do if you don't fear death, but I can make you fear me. Oh my god. He raised the knife again, but not to stab you in a vital spot. Instead, he slowly brought the tip of it to your face, level with your eye. So, we'll do this, Marky. He swallowed hard at the distorted vision of the knife tip millimeters from your pupil. I'm going to hunt you. Every time I catch you, I'll hurt you. Did I get it? Damn, I did it. This is little tiny. I'm sorry, baby. Did I wake you up? Oh my god, I'm just a horrible dog owner. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? Do you want to come up here? Come on. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Come sleep up on my lap. Come on. Okay. Here. Let me make it nice and comfy for you. There you go. Okay. I'll hurt you, and every time you avoid me, I'll back off a little. Jeff's eyes trembled, almost white. like two spotlights in the dark. Wait, you lost the first round. Jeff dictated, pushing his hand forward. You son of a... What do you mean I lost that? We didn't know we were playing. You little meanie. Oh. The blade dug into the corner of your eye, almost grazing your eyelid. You screamed with all your might until you felt your throat tear. Blood flowed like a small waterfall, and with your sudden body shake, blood splattered. Jeff laughed, satisfied with your reaction, and pushed the blade deeper, burying it into the soft flesh of your eyeball. Ack! You choked on your saliva, on the verge of vomiting from the unbearable pain. Your hands flailed at Jeff's chest, but you didn't move him an inch. Jeff violently shook the knife handle, moving it deeper into your eye. He shook the knife a little more and pulled, managing to yank out your eyeball, still connected by veins. This is awful. What's happening? Is anyone there? Like heavenly bells, you managed to hear the voices of other people coming from nearby, but you no longer had the strength to stand. Woo! Oh, God, you could see it! You collapsed to the ground, your left eye socket bleeding from the raw wound. Your vision was blurry and damaged. There was no way to trust what you saw. You could only focus on what you heard. Remember our game, Reki. Jeff murmured softly, his voice echoing from behind you. You managed to feel those footsteps of several people heading your way, so you surrendered to exhaustion and pain. That was pretty gruesome, and now we're on day 2. You had never felt so much pain before. Sure, you'd stumbled, scraped your knees, or burned your fingers with boiling water, normal things. Also, I said that I was going to play 2 dating sims. Usually they end up being kind of short, but this one's going to be pretty long, I think. So we're going to have to play the other one another day, which is fine. But that one might end up being pretty short. Maybe. We'll find out. But let's enjoy this one. But this was another level. It wasn't the physical pain that bothered you most, but the kind of pain that made you aware that everything that was happening mattered more than you wanted it to. The kind of pain that wakes you up, forces you to exist, rips you from the comfort of feeling nothing. To top it off, you wanted to sleep. Sleeping had always been your best plan in any situation. But of course, life loves to ruin your plans. Are you awake? The voice was masculine, soft, with that educated tone that inspired confidence. You didn't wake up immediately. You felt your body heavy with fatigue. But after a couple of uncomfortable breaths, you managed to force yourself to see. Oh! Oh my God. Lights surrounded you. It took you a few seconds to realize you were on a hospital gurney. Rough sheets, the smell of disinfectant, and the fluorescent light of LED bulbs. The good thing, if there was anything good, was that you were receiving medical care. Hopefully, they wouldn't let you die stupidly after everything you went through last night. For real. Finally, you focus on the sound, the source of the voice. Oh, I love, this art style is, so cute. Cute, soft, it's really nice. It's really nice. In the front of you is a man in a white coat. Young, well-groomed, with a kind face. Do you know where you are? Heaven. Hospital. Don't tell me this guy's a love interest. What? Also, let's, we made it through that. It's right there. The doctor nodded and wrote something on the papers he was carrying. Good. That's a good sign. Are you writing that down out of professionalism or because you need to fill space? The doctor raised an eyebrow at you, as if he hadn't expected such a blunt comment, but far from looking offended, he seemed intrigued. Both. Your voice was hoarse and your throat hurt. You swallowed hard, trying to soothe the pain. The doctor gave you a serious look, as if telling you to take it easy. Do you remember your name? Whatever he wants to call you, say your name. It's Mareki. Your voice came out hoarse and broken, but clear enough for him to understand. The doctor nodded, concentrated. Evidently, he was asking you those questions to find out how disoriented your head was. Alright, do you know why you're here? You didn't answer immediately. The image appeared on its own. A scarred face, sunken eyes, a distorted smile. And the laughter, that damned laughter. Of course you knew why you were there. Someone attacked me. The doctor approached and took your hand firmly. He didn't ask if you wanted that gestured, he just did it. This place is safe. He can't hurt you now. You stood at his hand over yours. You didn't know what was worse, the pain or how ashamed it felt for someone to comfort you in such a proper way. Good service, you thought. Maybe they'll bring you free coffee later. You know, like right here, coffee. Oh, delicious. He noticed your silence and quickly pulled his hand back. He cleared his throat, embarrassed. Sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. Why are you blushing? I'm your doctor, Paul Salazar. Salazar? Dr. Salazar. That's cool. It took you a second to process. Nice to meet you, Dr. Salazar. I'd say I would have liked to meet you in another situation, but you know. He offered a brief smile, unsure whether to laugh or apologize again. I'll explain your situation a bit. He straightened up, becoming more serious. You have head injuries. We need to monitor you for vomiting, dizziness, or loss of consciousness. You also have some minor cuts. You don't need stitches, but no scratching or touching them. Understand? The exact moment he said it, the itch attacked you. Damn suggestion. The most important thing now, you suffered asphyxiation. Don't strain yourself. Don't talk much. If you feel dizzy or have trouble breathing, let us know. You nodded in silence, settling slowly into the gurney. The fabric of the gown scratched your skin a little. The mattress smelled of disinfectant. Everything smelled of disinfectant. And about your eye. His tone changed, as if he was about to deliver very bad news. I'm sorry. We couldn't save it. Cold, as if someone had opened a window in the middle of winter. Instinctively, you raised a trembling hand to the left side of your face. Just bandages. Just emptiness. You had imagined losing things. Objects, relationships, time. But this was different. Losing pieces. You'll be able to live a normal life, he said quickly, as if wanting to remedy your situation. You'll lose some depth perception, but it won't impede your life. Later, you can opt for a prosthetic. Prosthetic pretty much, if you wish. Now, the important thing is that it heals well. He noticed your silence. Your lack of reaction made him uncomfortable. He leaned slightly towards you. Are you okay, Mareki? You're not okay? You will be okay. We'll be okay. I'll be fine. It's just one eye. I have another. You didn't know if this was true, but it didn't matter. What a little cutie. You didn't say it for him. You said it to cut off the conversation. Talking hurt. Listening did too. Salazar looked at you, as if wanting to read something more in your face, but he only found the usual apathy. You don't have to pretend to be strong. We have professionals you can talk to. I'm not pretending. I just don't care. There was the barrier, subtle but solid. You didn't want comfort. You didn't want company. You just wanted to be left alone. For a second, the silence in the room weighed more than the pain in your body. Is there anyone you'd like to call? Any family, a friend, a partner? You didn't want to admit your life was solitary, but you couldn't just lie to your doctor. You didn't have family. You don't talk to your family. Your family lives in another city. You don't talk to your family. I understand. Dr. Salazar scratched his head awkwardly. Wait, is there maybe a better option here? You don't have family? Does it matter? Your family lives in another city. No. Let's just, big yawn? Was that a big yawn? Big yawn, yeah. Big yawn. She a little kitty? Yeah. You smell good. Yeah. You don't talk to your family. We'll keep it at that. I understand. Dr. Salazar scratched his head awkwardly, precisely why you didn't want to say anything in the first place. There must be someone in the city you're in contact with, right? A coworker? Talking about work reminded you of a certain person. What time is it, Doctor? Dr. Salazar shook his wrist and glanced at his watch. It's 4 a.m. Why? There's someone I can call, but it's very early. Someone attacked you. They'll understand. You pursed your lips into a line with doubt. You didn't have much closeness with her, but you couldn't think of anyone else. Alright, I'll give you her number. You wrote a phone number on a piece of paper and handed it to him. Staff members will be coming to monitor you. You can ask them for whatever you need. Okay. Dr. Salazar nodded slightly at your affirmation and headed for the room door. The room door! God! But before leaving, he turned to you. When you feel better, you could talk to the police. For now, rest. And with that, the doctor left the room, leaving you with your thoughts. You vaguely remembered hearing people approach you when you passed out in the alley. They surely scared Jeff away. The important thing is that you're safe and monitored, and there's no way Jeff can reach you, right? I like this idea. Like, we're playing tag with him, so he might be able to come and get us. I'm so scared. It wasn't strange, but... Oh, another thing I really like is that you can change, like, the setting if you want it to be harder. Like, I think that's cool. It wasn't strange that you worried about it, since the last thing he told you was that he would hunt you down until he found you. But again, you were in a hospital, so it was supposed to be safe. All that thinking exhausted you again, so you settled into the gurney to rest. A few minutes. You wanted to sleep, even if it was just a few minutes. Good time to check messages. There we go. Put it back, put it back, put it back, put it back. There we go. As you slept, you could have sworn you felt a caress on your cheek. Oh, it was soft and delicate, fingers tracing your right cheekbone, moving down your jaw to lightly brush your lips. Opening your single eye, you scanned the room, looking for whoever might have touched you while you slept. But you only saw Cindy. Miracky! Suddenly, and to your great surprise, girl, can you lay down? Thank you. Cindy wrapped her arms around your shoulders, leaning in for a tight hug. You froze. I thought you wouldn't wake up. Oh, thank goodness. Cindy pulled away from you, treating you like a delicacy you weren't used to. Is it your imagination? Or is it as if Cindy, girl, were playing the role of your... I almost got it. We're playing the role of your best friend. She was by far your best friend. You'd only known her for a while. Did I say that right? She was by far your best friend. You'd only known her for a while. Okay, I said it right. Okay, you were the one who gave Salazar her contact, but only because she's the closest person you had on hand. What's with all the affection? A ray seemed to strike Cindy, making her recoil with a dismayed expression. I don't know, but it's like you suddenly became very important. So you weren't before? Okay. One thing is you thinking that about yourself personally, but it hurt a little to hear someone else say it. When I found out what happened to you, I came right away. I didn't want you to be alone right now. How are you feeling? Cindy sat in the chair to your right, this time maintaining a more cordial Cordial distance. Understandable. You only worked in the same store. A little pain, but I think overall I'm fine. Cindy lowered her gaze with concern, then raised it to you. She sighed heavily, bringing her fingers to her forehead. I told you to be careful. That comment was unnecessary. Was she trying to blame you? As if what happened to you was your fault and not the bastard who ripped out your eye? I remind you, I was attacked. It's not my fault. I don't mean that. Now you're supposed to be a caring coworker. What a bad joke. Mareki! It wasn't the volume of her voice, nor the fact that she called you by your name. It was her heartbreaking tone that made you stop. I don't understand myself either. I didn't think you mattered so much to me. Hey, you were on the verge of dying and I was terrified. It's like you've started to develop a gravitational field, and now several people are revolving around you. Jeff, Salazar, Cindy. It only took a madman to stalk you and rip out your eye, right? Oh! I don't know how to explain it, but I'm worried about you. Can you stop being an idiot about it and just accept it? You couldn't help but fall silent at her declaration. You'd be lying if you said your heart didn't beat faster. Thank her. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sydney. Sydney looked at you in the comforting silence. I'm not one to say these things, but thank you for worrying about me. Sydney lowered her gaze and smiled faintly. You're not doing a very good job on your own, so I don't mind doing it for you. Yeah. Sydney smiled faintly, but then her expression changed. The one who attacked you, was it the same weirdo from the store? After a light knock on your room door, 2 people appeared. Perfect timing to interrupt your conversation. Hey, L. West. Okay. Good evening, America. We're Lieutenant West and Detective Sean. Can we ask you a few questions? You looked at the police with your eye. Your one eye. Yeah, eye. A man and a woman, dressed in formal attire. The man spoke, showing his badge, and the woman, Detective Sean, did the same. They looked at you seriously, but at the same time, they didn't seem very worried about you. Rather, it seemed they were more interested in what you had to say. Your doctor told us you had visitors. If it's more comfortable for you, we can do the interview with her present. Marky just woke up. They need to rest. Sydney spoke over your shoulder to them, uninterested in their presence. The sooner we talk, the sooner we'll catch whoever did this to you. Heat rose from your chest to your head, to your eye socket. You didn't know if it was a response from your body or just anger towards Jeff, but you managed to hide it. It's okay, Sydney. I'll answer what I can. The detective seemed to relax a little at your words. They stood on the other side of your bed, West standing next to you, making eye contact to convey more trust, while Sean took out a notebook to take notes. Classic. Good cop, bad cop. Let's start with the most important thing. Did you see your attacker? Oh yeah, it wasn't pretty. Damn. Could you give us more details? Like his social security number? You were joking, obviously. You were in a hospital bed with one eye missing and on painkillers. You were allowed to have some fun. They asked if it was a man or a woman. Height, build, clothes. I know, jeez. Nobody appreciates a joke. It was a man. White. Tall. I don't know, maybe 6'3". Dang, he's tall. He was wearing a white hoodie. Terrible clothes for a criminal, if you ask me. You glanced at Sydney. Easy since she was on your right side. She had a thoughtful expression. Most likely she had concluded you were talking about Jeff, or as she knew him, the weirdo from the store. Any special characteristics? His face was messed up, if you know what I mean. The 3 of them looked at you in silence for a few seconds, and you felt pressured to give more details. He had many scars. His mouth, it was ripped. Cindy looked so disgusted with the description that she seemed to want to vomit. Wes and Sean exchanged a silent glance, then looked back at you. Alright. Did anything unusual happen the day of your... What are you hearing? Would she listen? Yeah? I think the normal amount of weird that we all have in a day. Stop messing around. Cindy scowled at you, not shouting, but using an elevated tone of voice that made you pout. Jerona! There was a weird guy who showed up at the store. What would you define as weird? Here I come, San Francisco. Cindy rolled her eyes. Wow, you didn't see Cindy as someone who rebels against authority. He went on and on for an hour. He was very interested in Mareki. Wes directed his attention to you, raising an eyebrow. Did you interact with him? Let's remember this for later. Exaggerate. Oh, it was very awkward. He kept staring at me and pretending to look for something to buy for an eternity. I wanted to believe he was just another type of stalker. We waited for a reaction from the detectives, but they looked at you with the same seriousness as before. You turned to Sydney, and she was gently shaking her head. Tough crowd, huh? Did he say anything about himself, any motive, or why he left you alive? Don't lick it. The question surprised you. It was as if they were surprised you had survived. They know about Jeff. They obviously know about Jeff. Well, she wasn't entirely wrong to ask that, since it was precisely Jeff's threat that kept you alive. You might have revealed that part of the information by a slip of the tongue, but Cindy interrupted before you could say anything. What kind of question is that? We're building a profile of the suspect. Any detail can help us. The guy literally has his face covered. He's full of scars? What more do you want? How can you find someone like that? Miss, you need to calm down. No, for a case like this, with that physical description, you should already be looking for him. The longer it takes, the further he might be. The room fell silent for a few moments, and you felt awkward about the argument. You're right. We'll stop for now. But Lieutenant, Mareki needs to rest. Wes guided Sean towards the room. You want to go down? Do you want to go down? No, you want to stay up here? All right. You want to warm up my hand? It's so cold. My hand's so cold, isn't it? Is it? Yeah? Oh, super duper cold. Like, legitimately. My hand is freezing. Holy moly. Oh. Wes guided Sean towards the room exit, turning back to you one last time. Get well. Thanks. You nodded in silence, watching them leave. Again, you were alone with Sydney. This time, the silence was heavy, with many questions. Questions that surely would have been useful for catching Jeff. Sydney mumbled to herself, but then noticed your gaze on her. So she straightened in her seat as if nothing had happened. Don't worry, Mareki. They'll find him. Should you mention Jeff's promise? It would probably be the smartest thing to do, but for now, you allowed yourself to just ask one thing. Hey, Sydney? You don't like cops. Or, you don't like cops? Sydney stared in her seat, and her face paled. She averted her gaze, rubbing her fingers indecisively. It was clear she didn't want to answer. It's okay. Forget about it. You brushed it off with a smile and a wave of your hand. Fortunately, Cindy seemed to relax. I'm going to get breakfast. I'll be back in a bit. Okay. Will you bring me something? Sure. What do you prefer? Something sweet. Cindy nodded and stood up. She headed for the room door, but before she could grasp the handle, someone else opened it. Cindy moved aside, letting a doctor in. She gave a brief greeting, glancing at him before leaving the room. Oh, fuck, I knew it. It's him. I knew it. Oh no. It's so cold. He watched the doctor enter the room in silence, carrying a metal tray. You remember Dr. Salzer warning you that they would come periodically to monitor you. Began to remove his hands, preparing whatever on the tray. I'm so scared. Be cold. Hey. Alright, got me a heart point. Woo. Hey. Are you gonna monitor me or something? You received no answer. You sighed and looked away. You didn't know if it was a response to trauma or something else, but you felt a certain aversion to this tall man, dressed in white with long black hair. He's suspicious, isn't he? Yeah, it's obviously Jeff. What? No. Look at this. Oh, see that leg. It's probably a mask, but you didn't know. Oh, I can physically go back with my little mouse. That's cool. Good to know. That's really cool. Yeah, no, look at this. Also, I want to imagine Jeff being like 6'3". 6 foot maybe a little below 6 foot. I've always had in my mind. I don't know why. 6 feet, sure. 6'3", maybe. I'm fine with it. Everyone can have their own like kind of thing about it, but I always imagine him just be like 6 foot. Anyway, your throat felt dry. Excuse me, could I have some water? The doctor suddenly froze and stayed like that for a few seconds. Then he moved again. You could only see the doctor's back from your spot. You heard the unmistakable sound of water being poured. The simple sound made you thirstier. Most likely because your sore throat begged to be refreshed. We're so screwed. The doctor took a few steps and approached you. Oh, wait, that's not Jeff. Then who is it? Look at this. It's his scars. His piercings. This is a nice shot, though. You tried to sit up, but your body felt very heavy. You felt a hand on your back, helping you to straighten up. The touch was soft and attentive. It made you realize how vulnerable you were. And you felt the rim of a glass at your lips. You drank water slowly, your throat burning but relieved by the coolness. You didn't just take a sip. When you finished, you sighed with relief, glancing at the doctor attending to you. His bangs covered his features, and he wore a disposable mask. Well, where had you seen that before? God, I'm so scared. Thank him. Mock him. What the heck? What is wrong with this guy? Okay, good to know we can just kind of go back like that, but does Jeff have a kink or something? Like, what is this? How many years of medical school did it take you to know that an unconscious patient needs to be hydrated, doc? You're playing with fire, but the situation was so bizarre, you couldn't take it seriously. The doctor didn't respond and went back to his previous spot, doing whatever he was doing. After drinking water, you felt better and could speak. According to Salazar's instructions, you shouldn't talk much, but you felt well enough to maintain a conversation, even if illiteral. Just in case. Flirt? No. Distrust? Okay, distrust. Are you really a doctor? It was quite obvious that this doctor had no interest in getting along with you. You didn't know whether to take it personally or not. You'd expect to be treated with care in the hospital, but everything indicated that wouldn't be the case. Complain? Really? Hey, if you don't feel like getting along with people, I think you should reevaluate your career. Did you hear me? The doctor continued to remain silent. He was starting to annoy you. One more try. Maybe you could get some words out of him if you insisted one last time. Show interest? Nah. Tell him what happened to you? Okay. You know, someone attacked me. The doctor remained motionless in the spot. It was someone I talked to at my job. I guess he didn't like me, huh? Haha. But, oh, I wouldn't say that. The doctor suddenly murmured, his voice too familiar. Wait, what? It was like someone I talked to at my job. I guess he didn't like me. Oh, so he does like us. The doctor suddenly murmured, his voice too familiar. The doctor turned to your side, pulling down his disposable mask to his chin. Ah, son of a... Yeah, we knew. Ah, Jeff, what a surprise. I didn't know it was you. I don't appreciate your sarcasm. Your heart pounded, a response to the proximity of the person who ripped out your left eye. Your body was afraid, but your mind wasn't. So, did you come to give me special care? Jeff chuckled, pulling a syringe from his pocket. Something like that. Wait, what are you doing? He brought the syringe to your IV and injected it into the tubing. Relax, it won't kill you. It'll make you feel a little agitated. The moment he said that, you felt your heart start to pound faster. You began to breathe rapidly, as if you had run a marathon. Instinctively, you brought a hand to your chest, clutching the fabric of the hospital gown. You bastard! Jeff clicked his tongue, shaking his head. Have some respect for your doctor. Jeff reached his hand towards you and held your chin between his fingers, lifting your head to look at him. Look at him! Oh my god. Feeling weak and tired, you let yourself be held, too drained to scream for help or break free from his grip. Remember, we're playing. I'm in the hospital. How did you expect me to escape you? You're a cheater. You gasped in frustration, lacking in the energy to speak properly. Consider it a warning. Jeff shrugged, unconcerned. Suddenly, an alarm began to blare, and the sound of rapid footsteps came from outside the room. That's my cue. Jeff put his mask back on and stood up. I hope you improved your strategy. It would be a shame if you ended up boring me. Jeff said, before disappearing among the small crowd of nurses and doctors who entered and headed for you. We have severe hyperkalemia? Administer calcium gluconate intravenously. 10 millimeters of 10% solution slowly. Now, miss instructions. A medical John? You didn't fully understand. You eyed Jeff suspiciously as he retreated as if nothing had happened. Hidden in plain sight again. Damn. Was it... Oh my goodness. Hold on. My feet are so cold. No wonder. I was like, why am I... There we go. Let's fix that. Yeah, perfect. I'm just adjusting, Zelda. Relax. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Was it really that easy for him to infiltrate? Either Jeff had a superhuman ability to go unnoticed, or the people in this hospital were inept. You wanted to believe it was the first option. Anyway, they were able to treat you quickly, so you felt considerably better. If you notice compromised kidney function, order urgent dialysis. Dr. Salazar was giving instructions to another doctor, one you now were sure was a resident. The resident nodded at Dr. Salazar's orders and withdrew, leaving you two alone. Dr. Salazar rubbed his temples and came to your bedside. His gaze reflected concern, so you couldn't help but look away, feeling guilty. Mareki, you suffered severe hyperkalemia. Do you have any idea what might have caused it? You bit your lower lip at the question. You were having a hard time convincing yourself to trust anyone with the whole Jess situation. This one is a choice. If you trust him, but his quick actions and attentive care convince you that he was trustworthy. Is he a love interest? The truth is, my attacker came. He did something to me, but put something in my IV. Dr. Salazar's eyes widened in surprise, then lowered his gaze with pity. I'm so sorry, Marky. This is supposed to be a safe place, and I failed you. I failed you? You took the doctor's hand in yours and tried to offer a comforting smile. It's not your fault. I know you're doing your best. Dr. Salazar looked silently at your intertwined hands, then stroked the back of yours with his thumb. You couldn't help but feel your cheeks flush slightly. It's not a very conventional idea, but I can get you out of here to a safe place. That didn't sound very professionalism. It was almost as if he wasn't acting seriously like a doctor, but rather trying to charm you. But you no longer trusted the hospital. Anything else sounded better to you. Let's do it. Oh wow. Backrooms. Dr. Salazar quickly handled the paperwork to discharge you, gave you your clothes, and wheeled you through the hospital corridors. Where we're going? To my house. Wow, invite me to dinner first. Dr. Salazar chuckled behind you, pushing the wheelchair. I performed surgery on you. We've already skipped a few steps. At least you could take things with humor. You arrived at the elevator. Dr. Salazar let you in first, leaving you with... I don't trust him! Leaving you with your back to the doors. Did you see Sydney? Yes, nice girl. Although a little nitpicky. Those are your words, not mine. You felt silent when you heard the elevator. Oh, so loud. You waited silently for someone to come up and press a button, but instead you heard a muffled sound with a struggle behind you. Oh, no. You looked in the mirror in front of you and you were surprised to see that Dr. Salazar is no longer behind you. The elevator doors were open, revealing a dark hospital in the hallway. Dr. Salazar. You called, trying to get a response, but nothing. Too bad. That voice made you shudder. Jeff? Who's cheating now? After the mockery, Jeff takes a step forward, revealing himself at the... I knew it was too good to be true! Revealing himself at the threshold of the elevator. Our game is between you and me, no one else. But it doesn't matter anymore. The game is over. Jeff walks into the elevator, looking at you from the mirror. His tone was mocking, but his eyes were bloodshot. Slowly, he pulled out his knife and just as slowly directed it toward your stomach. You gasped in anticipation. You knew it was coming, yet anxiety overwhelmed you. In the same slow and calm way, Jeff buried the knife blade in your stomach, passing through your clothes and into your core. Doubled over in pain, but Jeff forced you to straighten up after wrapping his arm around your neck. You felt his breath through the mask against your ear. You clenched your teeth so hard it hurt your mouth. Shh, go to sleep, he whispered, burying the blade deeper inside you. The pain was so much that you couldn't scream. But the way he treated you, holding you in a hug while comforting you with whispers, gave you the impression that he was taking some consideration. He could have been much more crueler. Maybe he was being a little considerate because you were a brief playmate. You died! Yay! Ending 3, you didn't play along. Oh, I got an ending! How many endings? Let's see one. Day 2. Oh, cool. I'm getting the pictures. It's cool. Stop killing me! Stop it! Again. Keep it to yourself. You decided it was best to deal with it on your own. The fact that Jeff was able to walk into a hospital and inject you something under guard told you that the protection in that place was not safe. I don't know. I was unconscious the whole time. Dr. Salazar leaned toward you, placing a hand on the side of your head. Whatever happened, you could trust me. Yeah. No. 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 You managed to survive so far. You can continue to do so without anyone's help. Call it a feeling, but something told you Jeff wasn't going to attack you anytime soon, so you had time to form a plan. Jeff didn't hurt you as much as he did before, so he probably meant it when he said it was a warning that he could do something worse to you, and it's up to you to prevent it. So no, you didn't have to trust the doctor you just met. Doctor, I'm telling the truth. Dr. Salazar looked at you for a few seconds, unconvinced, then sighed and distanced himself. Oh, sorry, I keep pressing my right click. Okay, try to rest. You nodded silently, but unlike before, the doctor called someone from outside the room. A nurse quickly arrived. Be alert to the monitor. If there is any change, report it. The nurse nodded at the instruction and stayed in the room, near the heart monitor you had connected. Clearly, Dr. Salazar didn't trust leaving you alone. I will come periodically. You didn't know if he said it to the nurse or to you, but you nodded anyway and lay back on the stretcher with a tired sigh. Surviving a sadistic killer was exhausting. Talking so much. When Sydney arrived, Dr. Salazar told you had a minor seizure. She became so concerned that she considered staying with you for the rest of the day. Even though you appreciated the gesture, you weren't entirely happy with it, so you convinced her to go to work, asking her to... Big stretch? Asking her to cover for you. Anyway, Dr. Salazar gave you a week of rest. Woo. Oh, the perfect amount of time for me to get with Jeff. Since you were kept under observation, you had to spend the rest of the day and night in the hospital. But when the next morning came, everything was ready. Yay. To discharge. Yay. The next day, you were discharged. And luckily, you had the transportation issue covered. Go ahead, Murky. Lieutenant West opened the door for you while Detective Sean took the driver's seat. You got up from the wheelchair you were taken to the hospital entrance in. Oh, Murky! Turned at the sound of your name. Dr. Salazar? Was it? What is it? Dr. Salazar took a moment to breathe, then handed you a business card. Oh. Crescent note. Cool. My card. You can call me whenever you want, or if you need anything. Ooh, someone likes me. You took the piece of paper and playfully shook it. Who would have thought I could get someone's number if I got hurt a little? Dr. Salazar's mouth dropped open in surprise, then cleared his throat. His cheeks flushed. This is professional concern. Wes raised an eyebrow at the doctor, who awkwardly scratched his head and retreated. Do you want to go? No, you want to stay? You always stand up and you look down like you want to go. I don't know. I don't know if you want to go or not. He awkwardly scratched his head and retreated. Okay. Has that doctor been inappropriate with you? Not at all. He's been quite nice. Wes shrugged and gestured back to the car. This time, without interruption, I'm still recording, right? Oh, thank God. This time, without interruption, you sat in the back seat. When Wes got into the passenger seat, the car started and drove off. Most of the time, there was silence until you suddenly saw Wes nudge Sean. She cleared her throat, looking at you in the rearview mirror. So, Mareki, how are you feeling right now? It surprised you that the more distant cop was trying to talk to you, but you didn't have to be rude and reject her efforts. Well, mostly because of the painkillers. You couldn't help but caress the clinical patch covering your left eye socket with your fingertips. Sean paused, then replied, You may have scars, but they are proof that you survived. You couldn't help but be surprised for a moment by the encouraging comment, but you had to admit it made your day. Thank you. Sean looked straight ahead, focused on the road, but something made you think she felt calmer. Will your girlfriend come to see you at your home? Girlfriend? Will your girlfriend come to see you at your home? Excuse me? Miss Cindy. Oh, you didn't know whether to be offended or embarrassed. She's just a coworker. She's not even that close. Oh, I thought... He turned to Sean with a look that asked for help, but he was completely ignored. I saw her very attentive and protective of you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's okay. It also strikes me that way. It also, yeah. But it's nice to see that someone cares about me in this city. You're on your own. I understand. Yeah, but I deal with it. We could ask for protection for you. Oh, like watching where I live? Yes. Now we assume your doctor is on the run, but we can't assume he won't come back to finish the job. Wes shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Elise, it's okay. I don't mind. In fact, having protection gave you a sense of security, considering Jeff would come looking for you. You are aware that you were hindering the investigation by concealing key information, such as Jeff's name and the game he initiated, but after witnessing how easily he got away with it in the hospital, something told you the universe was on his side. Honestly, it makes me feel better. A shiver of danger ran down your neck, as if your body sensed Jeff's presence nearby. The memory of the sharp pain of your eye being ripped out, made you settle deeper into your seat. Perhaps, just perhaps, it was affecting you more than you cared to admit. We're here. You saw your building's entrance from the car window, making you sigh with relief. Finally, you could go back to your bed. We'll be on alert. We'll notify you of any updates. This is my number. Call it if you need anything, and I assure you my concern is strictly professionalism. You took the business card with your fingertips, seeing the name printed, W. Wes. Why would I flirt with any of them? Why would I flirt with any of them? Ask about the case. Can I ask you, or what would happen if I Can I have your number, detective? You saw in the rearview mirror that Sean's eyes widened in surprise. Excuse me? The lieutenant gave me his. Can I have yours? Sean glanced at Wes, who shrugged. Well, excuse her. She doesn't have any social skills. Oh, she's blushing. Sean elbowed Wes, who chuckled lightly. Wallace, that's cute. Sean remained silent for a moment, then reluctantly took out her wallet. This is my number. Call whenever you want. I mean, whenever you need it. You saw out of your remaining eye that Wes raised an eyebrow at Sean's murmurs, and she looked away from you. Understood. You nodded firmly. Does that... I don't know if that's beneficial at all. What if I flirt with Wes? Oh, W. Would that be William? Wes chuckled, his deep, vibrant voice a sweet sound to your ears. No, but good try. At least, can I know if there's a Mrs. Wes at home? Wes was surprised for a few seconds, then let out a light laugh. You heard Sean let out a groaning sigh from the side. The W is for Wallace. Happy? Oh. You raised your hands to surrender with a small, playful smile. You opened the car door and took... Okay. Okay. So, if I flirt with Sean... Yeah, okay. Oh, that's going... Okay. Woo! You closed... I just skipped that. You closed the door and stood on the sidewalk for a moment, watching the cars blend in the traffic. You sighed with relief, turning towards your building's lobby. When you reached your apartment, it was just as you had left it 2 days ago. The apartment was furnished, and you had a few belongings, so there was no mess. But definitely leaving the place for 2 days had caused some dust to accumulate. So the first thing you did was sweep and dust. You opened the windows while shaking the sofa cushions and dusted the TV. You threw out all the bad food in the fridge and cleaned the inside. You went to the bathroom where you cleaned the surfaces until you couldn't see a trace of dirt. Finally, you reached your bedroom. It was emptier than you would have liked. You would have... posters? Whatever it was to cover the white walls. Okay. Anyway, now you don't have time to worry about that. You have to deal with the most important thing. You locked all the windows you could reach, then went to the entrance and double-locked the door. You peered out a window and saw a patrol car parked on the street across from you. What? What do you need? Do you want to go down? Do you want to go down? She just, gently, just touches my arm. You peered out the window. Yep. You sighed, sitting on the sofa, recovering your breath and the sense of security you had lost a long time. Technically, Jeff couldn't reach you. He shouldn't, but you can never be too sure, for the convenience of the script. Ah, yes. To distract yourself, you turned on the TV and changed channels until you found one you were interested in, until you landed on a news report showing a very familiar scene. Is that the street where the video store is? You turned up the volume with more interest. Oh, journalist. A person was attacked at 9 p.m. on Thursday with serious injuries. It's so loud. Medical sources reported that the victim is recovering. Descriptions of the attacker indicate a tall white male between 20 and 30 years old with scars on his face. He wears black and white clothes and frequently covers his face. The suspect is attributed with 27 murders, but investigators estimate the real number could exceed 100. It was pretty obvious they were talking about your attack. You felt your hands lose strength. The more you listened to the journalist, the more you learned about Jeff. He had killed so many people? Did he really leave you alive? You vaguely remember Wes arguing with some people outside your hospital room. He was surely chasing... Okay. Oh. I think this is fine. It's just really loud in my ear. You vaguely remember Wes arguing with people outside the room. He was surely chasing away a journalist who wanted to talk to you. Better that way. You would have had less chance to mess up. If they had put you in front of cameras with microphones in your face and journalists looking at you hungry for information, you would have revealed information that wouldn't have been convenient for Jeff's stalking. Because everything indicated that no matter where you went, Jeff would find you. Feeling the sweat run down your face, you went to the bathroom and washed your face, sighing in front of the sink. You looked at yourself in the mirror, and for the first time, you witnessed your current appearance. Your expression was tired. Not haggard yet, but close. Dark finger-shaped marks surrounded your neck, making you swallow. But then you noticed a patch over your left eye. With trembling fingers, you unhooked the elastic straps of the patch from your head, revealing an adhesive patch. You removed that piece, and all that remained was a gauze. Patiently, you removed the gauze to finally see what Jeff had done to you. After removing the piece of cloth, you saw your eyelid drooping, and when you tried to blink, your eyelids trembled, revealing the inside of your eye socket, covered with pink, shiny skin. You felt curious and extended your lower eyelid to get a better look at the inside of your eye socket. It's strange because somehow you feel like your eye is still there. What was it called? Phantom sensation? If you looked to your right, you felt your left eye do the same, even though it clearly wasn't there anymore. It's one of my best works. Of course he's here. He froze with the voice. Your vision cleared, and in the mirror's reflection behind you, you could see Jeff's silhouette. You turned suddenly, your heart pounding, but there was no one. Took a moment to catch your breath, then brought a hand to your face. Okay, maybe he's not here. Okay. Oh my god. Were you really starting to hallucinate? It seemed Jeff had made quite the impression on you. Could it be that you were truly afraid? Save it here. Yeah. No, it wasn't that big of a deal. That was your body reacting to trauma, nothing more. All that thinking about that man was making you tired. Yeah. You went to the kitchen to eat something, and you had a couple of good donuts stored in the cupboard. You drank some juice and took your painkillers, then went to bed. You wanted to go to sleep feeling safe, thinking you'd be fine, but since someone is reading this, that won't happen. Thanks. Oh, I'm so glad. You break in the fourth wall just to make me suffer. You heard a creak, which woke you up immediately. You didn't know if it was because you're a light sleeper or because you're alert, but you were glad it was. You stayed in your spot for a moment, hoping it was just your imagination again, but you heard another creak. This time you knew it was because there was someone in the house. You have to hide. Closet. You waited a few seconds, which turned into an eternity as you heard the sound of someone opening doors and rummaging through things. But your hopes of having chosen a good hiding spot vanished when you heard the closet door open! Bed. Oh my god, okay, I live. It's the bed, okay. I'm so glad it tells me if I live or not, and I don't have to go back and forth. You crawled? Sorry. You crawled as silently as possible under the bed and waited. You heard soft, continuous creaks. Suddenly you saw feet crossing your bedroom door, and your breathing stopped. Black combat boots advanced slowly, surrounding your bed. You watched, praying he would leave soon. The person stayed for a few more moments and retreated with some slowness. You felt you could breathe again. You stayed for a few moments and started thinking about what to do next. Fuck. Closet. Nope. Bathroom. Live. You tiptoed to the bathroom and locked the door. You got into the tub, taking shelter behind the curtain. You waited patiently, listening to the sound of someone opening doors and moving things. Suddenly, silence. Closet? No. Living room? Stealthily, you went to the living room and hid behind the sofa. So the closet is just not an option. You waited patiently in silence, hoping the time would pass quickly. Although you were in a very exposed place. Closet. Oh, now it's the closet. You went to the closet and stayed silent, listening to your heartbeat in your ears. You waited for seconds, which felt like an eternity, as you heard someone opening doors and moving things around. Your hopes were fading. You couldn't go from one place to another all night. How could he be so persistent? Exhaustion was overcoming you. You felt your legs losing strength. You slowly fell to your knees, leaning against the wall. You no longer cared if Jeff caught you. To hell with him and his stupid game. Suddenly, you heard a heavy sigh from somewhere in your apartment. Slowly and stealthily, you peered through the closet opening. Oh. Jeff was in your living room, subtly lit by the moonlight filtering through the window. He had the knife in his hand, which made you think you were lucky to have avoided him. I know you hear me, Mareki. You win this round. Your exhaustion vanished for an instant, replaced by a euphoria. But don't think I'll be watching you. Oh. But don't forget I'll be watching you. Don't forget, my bad. That was a fact you already knew. He had visited you in the hospital and followed you home. It goes without saying that you no longer felt safe anywhere. You heard the main door open and close, and that filled you with a relief that made you fall unconscious in your spot. Anyway, how could that maniac have fooled the police? One of three options. 1. He killed the police. That's the most tedious scenario, as it would involve many more police. 2. The police didn't see him, which caused you immense disappointment. And 3. Jeff is very good at slipping away. You still didn't know how he did it. Maybe you'll find out in the future, or maybe not. Time would tell. Time would tell. Day 4. Yes, I knew you wanted to leave. Girly pop. The next day was strangely calm. The night before, you barely got any decent sleep in the closet. It must be said. The relief of feeling that his stalking had ended, even if for just one day, drained your body's strength. So you woke up in the cramped space of the closet with an aching body. The first thing you did upon waking up was look out the window, and you didn't know whether to laugh or cry when you saw the same police patrol car from yesterday in the same spot. Did Jeff really sneak into your apartment so easily? You checked the locks and they weren't broken. That meant Jeff, besides bypassing the police, didn't force his way in. What the fuck? Everything was becoming too convenient, especially for a suspicious suspense story. Before you were sure Jeff was human. I keep messing up the sentences. I'm so sorry. Before you were sure Jeff was human, but now you were starting to consider other options. You secured the front door again and considered buying a new deadbolt. But first things first, you had to eat breakfast. You opened your fridge and disappointment flooded you when you saw it was practically empty. There were 2 wrinkled tomatoes, a half-empty juice carton, you checked by shaking it, and a half lemon. You remembered throwing out the spoiled food the day before, but you also hadn't gone grocery shopping. You prepared to leave, grabbed your wallet, and headed to the apartment's entryway, fiddling with your keys. You took one last look inside your apartment and left, locking all the doors. A moment of doubt stopped you, and you checked the light bulb in the upper corner of your door. Excellent. Jeff's superhuman ability to get into your apartment was called spare keys. Seriously? Really? You couldn't believe you had actually forgotten that. Of course. Oh, wow. The mini mart you visited was 2 blocks from your apartment, on the opposite side from the video store. It didn't have many things, but it was enough for desperate times like now. You looked for essentials among the aisles and refrigerators. Oh, normal option. Walking to the checkpoint, you felt a movement in the corner of your right eye, a white movement. Your heart raced, but the presence of many people restored some confidence, so you subtly followed the movement. You approached the snack shelf. Among the price tags, of course he's here! Colorful bags and shiny containers, you could perceive a white glint hidden on the other side of the shelf. You leaned around the corner, slowly peeking out. You could make out the posture of someone crouched, wearing white clothes. Mareki! The call of your name startled you, making you drop your groceries. Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, I'm so sorry. You watched him in amazement as Dr. Salazar knelt down, beginning to pick up your groceries. Dr. Salazar? You can call me Paul. Okay, Paul, what are you doing here? You didn't know if Jeff's stalking was starting to affect you more than you'd like, but you convinced yourself you were just taking precautions. You didn't need another stalker on your list. My shift ended a few hours ago. I was coming to a coffee shop nearby and I couldn't help but see you through the window. I hope it doesn't bother you? Salazar chuckled, softly, awkwardly, as if trying to shed a bad image. Oh, okay. You knelt too, finishing picking up your things. How are you feeling? How's your, eye? You instinctively brought a hand to your left eyelid, covered by the patch. Wow. It doesn't hurt anymore. That's good. Are you going to want a prosthetic? It depends. Can I choose the color? Of course you can choose the color and size of the iris, the pupil, and even the sclera. That's great. I'll think about it. Dr. Salazar nodded with a faint smile. Can I help you with your shopping? Thanks. You're very kind. Anything for my patient. Salazar helped you carry your things to the checkout. And you paid. Of course. You left the store and stood on the sidewalk for a moment. You held one of the bags in your hand while he carried the other. Are you doing your groceries? It's for my breakfast. Salazar looked at you with surprised eyes, then shook his head. It's already noon, Marky. You flinched at the scolding. Hearing it from a doctor made you feel more guilty. I know, there were circumstances, but now I'm on it. He looked at you in silence for a few seconds, then cleared his throat against his wrist. I could invite you to breakfast. What? I said I wanted to invite you to breakfast. You saw Salazar's nervous posture and the obvious blush on his cheeks. You tilted your head, curious. Like a date? Salazar coughed into his hand, but quickly. I wouldn't want you to misunderstand, but yes, I guess so. I'm inviting you on a date. You stood in silence for a moment, considering the proposal. You always had the option to flirt with people you met, but that didn't mean you were serious. It was fun to see other people's reactions to your teasing, and maybe there was a little hope in you that it would lead somewhere. And now you had the option to go further. I'm going to kill this guy again, aren't I? Sure, I'd love to. Salazar's expression brightened at your response. Wait, did I? Oh, I only got... Oh, it's because I didn't let him kill me, I think. I didn't actually let him come up and get me. That's my bad. Well, it doesn't matter that much. Tentatively, he raised his free hand towards you. He took his hand in yours, intertwining your fingers with his. You walked in silence down the street, letting him guide you, since he was the one inviting you. Suddenly, in front of you, a child fell on the asphalt and let out a heartbreaking scream. The parents quickly approached, picking him up off his feet and revealing that his knee had a bleeding wound. Let me see. I'm a doctor. You watched Salazar approach quickly and seriously, pulling hand sanitizer from one of his pockets. You smiled faintly at Salazar's attentiveness. Perhaps you needed an attentive man after all, one who respected life. Incomparable with... Well, you didn't have to think about him anymore. Don't say that! You're jinxing it! Suddenly, a great weight knocked you to the ground, immobilizing you. You felt something wet fall on your cheeks. It was warm. Oh my god, are you okay? You looked up and witnessed an expression you never expected to see. Jeff was crying inconsolably over you. How could you, Mariki? Am I not enough for you? You felt your voice crack with bewilderment. Fortunately, it seemed everyone had witnessed everything, which meant it would all be over. Jeff would be caught and you could go back to your life. Am I not enough for you? Yeah, god, how about you just shut... Stop jinxing! You're killing us! You're killing us! Jeff's thunderous scream jolted you from your thoughts, and it was too late when you saw him raise a knife and plunge it into your chest. Mareki, Mareki! Within each pronunciation of your name, you earned another stab, which made your body convulse and shed more blood. And his expression didn't change. It was full of pain. With your blurred vision, you managed to see Jeff being held and immobilized on the ground, still screaming. Your eyelid felt heavy. But there's literally a doctor near us. And he closed it. We have a doctor. We're on a date with a doctor. A doctor. A doctor. You sighed one last time with the relief that Jeff had been caught. At your own expense, of course. See? Mareki! You felt your cheeks being held by wet, sticky hands. You heard Salazar's heartbroken voice holding you desperately. You're a doctor. Stay with me. I'll help you. Mareki! You smiled faintly, feeling the warmth of Salazar's embrace. That's what you wanted, right? Oh, come on. Ah! None of you won. Oh. Oh. That's sad. Is that the album, one of the album pictures? It is. You know, I'm so curious about that one. But I don't think I can exactly go all the way back. Maybe. Wait, hold on. I got this. We're gonna skip forward. Posters. Keep skipping. See. Skip. Closet. Mareki! Jeff sounded delighted to see you, but the big knife in his hand didn't inspire anything good. You lost again? You had no time to think. As Jeff stabbed you in the stomach, you fell to the floor because of the intense pain and loss of blood. You're not that good at this game, Mareki. Feeling the cold moonlight filter through the windows, you fell unconscious. Did that get me? No. That's interesting. Okay, we won't bother that much with it. I'm sorry, I gotta reject you. I'm sorry, but I can't. Disappointment reflected in Salazar's. I'm sorry, you are a sweet guy. Oh, do you have someone else? It's not that. I have things to do today, but we could go out another day, okay? Salazar's grimace didn't seem to change at your words, but with your expectant silence, Salazar smiled faintly. I understand. Another day it is. Another day it is. At least, let me walk you back with your groceries. You pondered his words for a moment. Definitely, it wouldn't hurt to have him accompany you. It would feel safe, in fact. Sure. You led the way and you walked in silence all the way. You arrived at the entrance of your building, and seeing that Salazar had no intention of leaving you there, you continued guiding him until you stopped at your apartment door. Here we are. Salazar remained looking at the door for a few seconds and smiled faintly as he extended the bag he was carrying towards you. It was a pleasure seeing you, Mareki. Likewise, Paul? Salazar's smile widened, regaining some of the energy he had lost from your rejection. You can call me whenever you want. I'll keep that in mind. Salazar headed for the exit, not without turning back for a moment to wave goodbye to you. You returned his wave and stayed in the hallway until you no longer saw him. You sighed softly, returning to the reality of your situation. Right, you need to be careful. You locked every lock and entered your apartment, locking it again. You also made sure to hide the spare keys inside your apartment. You left your groceries in the kitchen and put everything away, and thought about what you would have for breakfast. You started the coffee maker with the new coffee you bought and 2 slices of bread in the toaster. You hadn't realized how late it was when Salazar pointed out to you. You must have been very tired to have slept almost 10 hours after Jeff entered your apartment in the early morning. You peered out the window again, and the patrol car was still there. You didn't know if it was the same one or a different one, but at least you had protection, right? What a joke. With your coffee ready and your toast, you sat at the small table you called your dining table. You were halfway through a bite when you heard a knock at the door. You quietly looked at the door in silence. Mareki, it's me. You relaxed when you realized it was Cindy. Wow, you're quite popular today. Yes, we are. You went and opened the door, making space for her to enter. Sydney quickly came in. What brings you here? It wasn't a surprise that she knew where you lived, as it wasn't the first time she had visited. Since she and her father, your boss, were the only two people you knew in the city. If something unexpected happened, like a bounced check or some mishap at the store, they would personally notify you at your apartment. Did they catch the guy? Shrugged. Nope. You need to take this seriously, even if they have arranged protection for you. It's not 100% safe to rely on that. So you saw the patrol car outside. Sydney brought a hand to her forehead. Yeah, there was also many journalists at the store. Elite that you worked there, so I had to close temporarily. Oh, I'm sorry. Sydney sighed, taking a seat on the sofa. None of this was your fault, Mariki. I should have accompanied you that day. You joined her, sitting next to her. Don't say that. You had no way of knowing. Sydney cleared her throat, changing the subject. So, do you know details about your case? Oh, well, seems they know who he is. Sydney's interest was piqued. Really? Who? A guy with a body count of 27? I mean, victims? Oh, yeah, sure, a body count of 27. That crusty skin. I'm kidding, I'm so sorry. Sydney looked at you expectantly, ignoring your joke. It seemed she hadn't seen the news. I killed it. I finally got it. Of course, when would she have time? Having to deal with chasing an invasive journalist? It seems I'm the first victim he left alive. Sydney let out a gasp. Just what we needed. A serial killer fixated on you. She wasn't wrong. They didn't say he was a serial killer. If he's murdered more than 3 people and has been doing it for years, he falls into the category of a serial killer. Okay. Did you see if he felt pleasure attacking you? Oh, yes. Definitely. You remembered how he insisted you admit you were afraid, even wanting to know the details. Oops, maybe you should have kept that to yourself. Sydney put her fingers to her chin, thoughtfully murmuring to herself, then he would fall into the category too. Sydney? Yeah? Can I ask you something without you getting angry? Okay. How do you know so many police terms? Sydney froze, looking at you in surprise. Then she sighed heavily. I never wanted to be a clerk in my dad's store. Yeah, nobody wants to be. Sydney gave you a reproving look at your sarcastic comment, but continued. So baby girl? Oh, hi baby, there you are. Hello baby, hi baby, how do you? I just want to make sure you're doing okay. You're good girl? Okay, good girl. Oh, wrong way. I studied criminology for 4 years, and then I entered the police academy. Wow, you didn't expect that. Sydney didn't give the impression of wanting to be anything in life, much less a cop. As long as I can remember, I wanted to be a detective, and I worked hard to graduate with honors. But when I entered the academy, my dad's store was robbed. They caught the culprits, but since one of them was a lieutenant's nephew, they let them go free. The system boasts of being a fair network, but it has too many loopholes. I dropped out of the academy and have been working for Dad ever since. Wow, who would have thought? Sydney grumbled through clenched teeth. Don't be condescending with me. No, not at all. It just caught my attention, that's all. That explains why you were so harsh with Lieutenant West and Detective Sean. Sydney snorted, looking away. Do you think they're doing a good job? Well, I don't know what they're doing now, but I have a feeling they're trying hard. Sydney lowered her gaze, dispirited. I hope the system doesn't fail you like it failed me, Mariki. I think that's the second nicest thing you've ever said to me. Sydney raised an eyebrow. What was the first? That you feel peaceful with me? Yeah, well, I still think about that. You two fell silent for a moment until you broke it. I'm glad we're getting along soon. She smiled faintly. Oh, are you a love interest too? Me too. Well, it's time for me to go. So soon? I just came to check on you. From what I see, you're fine. But Sydney turned to you, questioning. What is it? No, you couldn't tell her about Jeff's game. No, nothing. Go home safely. Sydney looked at you for a couple of seconds in silence and left. Seeing that you were on your own, you sighed heavily. You spent the rest of the day in your apartment. You felt like it was going to be a quiet night. But when night came, you changed your mind. Jeff said that every time you evaded him, he would go away. So technically, you should be safe tonight. But on the other hand, it was Jeff you were talking about. The guy is a cowardly, cheating maniac. You couldn't trust his word. So you decided to go out. Where? It didn't matter. You just went somewhere with a large crowd where it would be impossible to attack you. So you arrived at a street full of bars. Lights painted the streets with the colors, and music gently escaped from the venues. You shrugged and picked out a bar near you. Woo! Bar! Yes, yes! Alcohol. I'm kidding. Come on, baby. Give me, baby. Hello. Hello. You being a good girl? You playing with your toys over there? You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. I can't reach that far. I can't reach to pet your belly. The place was quiet and had a considerable number of people. Perfect. Sorry, I need another drink. This is going to be such a long video for YouTube. I mean, we're on day 4. We got 3 more days. You didn't want to go to a half-empty place. It'd be like a deer going to a meadow, but not a crowded place either. That's the last thing you needed in your paranoid state. So you sat at the bar and prepared to order. Is this going to matter? No. We're gonna go with wine. Beer's gross. Beer tastes gross. You sat waiting patiently for your order, and that's when you felt someone take the seat next to you. Whoa, my god, I couldn't have guessed. Wow. Whoa. Oh my god. Seriously? What? I can go wherever I want. This is a public place. And you don't think if I just scream, I can get you arrested? Jeff looked at you over his shoulder, disinterested in your threat. Sure, you could do that, and by the time a cop comes, I could rip out your other eye and run away again. You're a coward. I'm many things. The bartender approached and Jeff gestured to him to take an order. Whiskey. Neat. Oh, old school? Or just showing off? Who am I showing off to? Who am I showing off to? You? Here. Nope. Tease! You seem to try very hard to get my attention. I don't. Shut up. I'm the first person you've left alive. I guess that makes me at least relevant to you. Words seem to catch his attention. Don't flatter yourself. You're not the first. Oh? The bartender arrived with your order and his. Jeff wrapped his fingers around the glass and pulled his bandana down slightly. You could see a bit of his profile. It was strange to see him so calm. It was a beginner's mistake. The girl was nice to me and she suffered the same as me, so I felt sorry for her. Jeff took a sip and then swirled the drink in the glass. I don't know if she's still alive, but last time I saw her, she wanted to kill me, so I don't care anymore. He's talking about Jane. Definitely talking about Jane. Wow, you're being compassionate. That's new. And what did you two suffer from, if I may ask? He pointed to his own face with his index finger. The burns. Can I ask how it happened? In an accident. I spilled acid on myself. Mock him? Accidentally? Do you mean you spilled it or threw it on yourself? A bit of both? Wow. Just wow. Jeff snorted. He seemed annoyed, but you sensed the amusement in his voice. Oh, shut up. You're not one to judge me. What's that supposed to mean? You figure it out. Jeff took another sip of his whiskey. Anyway, why did you come here? I thought you wanted to keep this between us without an audience. Relax. I won't hurt you. I'll keep my promise. For now, right? You rolled your eyes and drank your own drink. You both sat in silence for a while, listening to the bar's music and the chatter of other people. Ask about his day. What'd you do today? Jeff turned to you in surprise. I didn't do much. He turned his gaze back to the front. I went shopping. I walked the streets. I rested a little. And I came to this bar. As you listened attentively, you saw the corner of Jeff's mouth curl into a mocking smile, and you realized, so was you following me? You glared at him, but far from being annoyed, Jeff seemed to enjoy causing that reaction in you. You took a sip of your drink, and he did the same. Every time he finished drinking, he pulled his bandana up again, covering his face. You both paused, a moment to calm the previous emotion. Are you really not going to do anything to me tonight? Jeff rested his cheek on his hand. Bored. Why? Now you're afraid of me? It's not that. I just wouldn't appreciate going back to the hospital so soon after leaving. Jeff clicked his tongue. Don't worry. Just enjoy that I'm not gutting you where you are. Okay. That's not reassuring. Jeff sighed, turning to you. His eyes, sky blue, milky like a cloudy day, stared fixedly at you. I promise I won't do anything. Suspect. Flirt. Oh, now we can flirt. Yes. Couldn't you be this cute most of the time? It's a waste of time to act crazy all the time. You thought Jeff made a gesture of raising an eyebrow, because he doesn't have eyebrows. Duh. And what about being a killer? Yeah, that too. Huh? Jeff returned to his spot in silence, as if he didn't expect your answer. You can see it clearly, but... Are you biting? Ma'am, are you... Really? You're chewing on the dresser? Ma'am. Ma'am. You know you're not supposed to do that. Get up here. Come here. Come on. Come. Your punishment is laying on my lap. Come here. Good girl. You're not gonna go and chew on that. It's very bad for you. We don't want that. Okay? It's not good for you. It's not good for you. Let's not do that, okay? You couldn't see it clearly, but you could swear that beneath his dark eyelids, you could see a distinct pink tone from the sores of his skin. You both fell silent again. This time you felt calmer, as if you had shaken off the previous awkwardness. Why are you doing this anyway? Jeff looked at you questioningly. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know if you hate me or like me. I don't know if you want to kill me or observe me. I don't know either, clearly. I lose control when it comes to you. Jeff let out a dry chuckle. I was always good at improvising, but since I met you, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, he is blushing. Inquire? You were always good at killing people. What's different now? You're an enigma. I thought I understood all of humanity, that's why I hated it. But with you, it's like I wanted to find out more. You caught my attention. I'm sure of that. He slowly brought his hand towards you. You didn't move. You didn't know if it was out of fear he would do something or if you wanted him to reach you. Jeff's fingers wrapped around your neck and squeezed gently. It wasn't choking you, but his grip was firm. I'm still thinking about what to do with you once I get bored of our game. He pulled you closer, his breath grazing your face as he spoke softly. Because I get bored easily. Oh my fucking God. Please don't tell me I have to do that. Moan. Oh, seriously? This is a beautiful dating game. This is a beautiful dating game. I've played definitely multiple dating games. This is beautiful. This is. Jeff's eyes widened, letting you go, as if it were contagious. He stared at you in astonishment for a couple of seconds. Yeah, I would too. It's kind of crazy. I fell for that again. He grunted under his breath and continued drinking his whiskey. Hey, so what's the plan? Huh? Are we going to chat like friends, even though you ripped out my eye and are stalking me? Jeff snorted a laugh, raising his glass. I'll drink to that. Toast. Whatever you say. He raised your drink and clicked it against his glass in a small toast. He stared at you in silence, thoughtfully. Ma'am, you're gonna get back on the ground, and you're gonna go right back to that dresser drawer, and you're gonna go right back to chewing on it. I know it. You're not allowed to do that. Do you understand? Okay. You're a very strange person, Mareki. Do you like that? Jeff chuckled softly. We'll see. Thanks for leaving me alone tonight. Your standards are very low, aren't they? Hey, I said thanks, not that you magically became decent just because you did one good thing for me. This isn't a dark romance. Perhaps. Jeff raised his hands in surrender, his posture unconcerned. I'm in a good mood, that's all I could say. Does it have anything to do with me rejecting the date with Paul? Think what you want. He smiled faintly and drank your drink. You both fell silent, listening to the bar. Yeah, no, that it's like, yeah, no, you're happy about that because when I was, you were crying about it. Jazz was relaxing, and strangely, you didn't feel bad. It was incredible how you could go from fearing he'd find you in your hiding place, and in another moment, it seems you two are having a... Oh? Was it your idea, or did this seem like a date? Dating the guy who ripped out your eye and threatens to kill you? Maybe it is a dark romance after all. Are you jealous? Nope. Where do you get your money? Nope. What happened to your mouth? Nope. Okay, so all of them are fine? Are you jealous? What's that got to do with anything? I couldn't help but notice that you... Well, okay, I couldn't help but notice that you really hated it when someone was nice to me. Are you the jealous type, Jeff? You're playing with fire, Mareki. Ooh, mock him. Why? Because it's senseless to provoke a serial killer who has me in his sights? Maybe you weren't mentally well enough to mess with someone so dangerous, but you definitely had enough common sense to recognize how screwed up the situation was. Ha. I see you understand what I mean. Don't get too comfortable. I'll come back for you tomorrow. Oh, right. Sure. You're stalking me. For a moment, I forgot. Spending time with you as a normal person wasn't so bad. I could even call it a date. You were just talking, but you could see that your words created a reaction in Jeff. Do you think someone like me can express normal... Or do you think someone like me can experience normal things? Like a date? Yeah. Yeah, sure. He stood silently for a second, then placed the empty glass on the bar and rose from his seat. You followed his movement, turning from your stool. Good night, Mareki. Good luck tomorrow. Jeff made a gesture to approach, raising his hand towards you. You saw he wasn't pulling out the knife, so you leaned towards him. Kiss his cheek. Now, okay. You held his hand in yours, but you pulled him closer and rested your cheek against the side of his face, covered by the bandana. See you later, Jeff, he whispered softly, close to his ear. He didn't respond. In fact, you felt a spasm in his hand. Jeff slowly retreated, hiding his eyes behind his bangs and hood. You watched him disappear through the bar door, and then you realized there was something in your hand. It was a crumpled piece of paper, and when you smoothed it out, you saw it was a bill. Stained with blood. So he did have money to pay after all. Anyway, you couldn't use that bill. They'd look at you with suspicion. You decided to stay a little longer, reflecting on everything that had just happened. Now you knew for sure that nothing bad would happen tonight. But you had to be careful. Tomorrow, the game would resume. That's kind of sweet. And we're on day 5! Woo! It was kind of sweet. Kind of sweet. I don't know. Like, Jeff's cool and all. You woke up as usual in the safety of your room, the only difference being that you couldn't just stop thinking about what happened last night. You still had the bloodstained bill Jeff gave you. He surely gave it to you knowing you couldn't spend it. He did it on purpose. It was strange. From your own experience, you knew he behaved erratically. Of course, somehow you had managed to interact with him in dangerous moments where your life was at stake. But that didn't mean it wasn't incredible that Jeff, as unpredictable as he was, had established some sort of relationship with you. You could admit there were times when his company, when he was trying to bury a knife in your guts, wasn't so unpleasant. It was as if Jeff had two sides. One was the deranged killer, and the other was an arrogant guy who never grew out of his edgy phase. Oh no. Was this the Stockholm Syndrome? Another box checked on the visual novel bingo card. Sorry. Anyway, today you had to be more on guard. Jeff would return, and he would already knew the layout of your apartment, so you were at a disadvantage. Maybe you'd have a better chance if you went to a hotel tonight. He'd most likely track you down, but the chances of him attacking you would decrease greatly. Sound like a strategy, frequently changing your location. Suddenly your doorbell rang in the middle of your reflection. It couldn't be Jeff, right? He's not the kind of guy who rings doorbells. How funny would it be if it was him? Hilarious. Open. Why not? You walked to the door, still in your pajamas, and peered through the people in silence. You immediately recognized Dr. Salazar's brown hair. Ah, you unlocked the door and opened it, letting him in. What are you doing here? Salazar fiddled nervously in his hands. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but worry. Huh? Some detectives contacted me. They asked about your eye. Okay. Muraki, I don't have it. Excuse me? According to the report, when you were transferred to the hospital, they recovered your eye. Why would they pick up a useless eye? Salazar cleared his throat. It's protocol, both police and medical. Everything found at the scene must be kept. Okay, I understand that, but what do you mean you don't have it? That's the strange thing. Your eye is registered at the hospital, but when I went to check, it wasn't there. Oh my god. Don't tell me Jeff took it. You could guess who might have taken it. I think your attacker is obsessed with you. Have you felt like you're being followed lately? Oh, the sweet naive doctor had no idea. You simply shrugged. I guess so. I have reasons to think he'll come for you. Wow, this doctor was doing a lot more than just operating on you. Apparently, he was offering to be your shining armored prince. So, does that mean you're here for me? Are you here to take care of me, Paul? Don't you think that's favoritism for one patient among many? Salazar's lower lip began to tremble slightly, surprising you. Whoa, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. I don't understand it either. You had a sense of deja vu. If someone else had told you something similar. You're incredible. Oh my god. It's literally, oh my god. Paul, you need to leave. Paul, you need to go. You need to leave. I've never had a patient like you. Ever since you woke up and we talked, you've given me tachycardia, sweating, confusion. It seemed like you were making him feel sick with so much medical jargon. But you got the idea. Is this what they call love at first sight? Okay. You were in a complicated situation. Not every day does your doctor come to your apartment and confess his love for you. but you had already gone through too many unusual things to be surprised. Paul, Before you could answer, there was a knock at the door. What are the chances? It's me. You turned to Salazar with a twisted smile. Excuse me, I have to get that. Mareki. Suddenly, he gripped your hand firmly, which confused you. His usual calm eyes gleamed with desperation. He didn't know what to think. The knocking on the door grew more insistent. I'll call the police if I don't get an answer, and I... You broke free from Salazar's grip and rushed to the door. I'm coming. Jeez, I'm in something here. Cindy looked at you seriously from the moment you opened the door. She entered with a pile of papers in her arms. This is urgent. We have... What the fuck? Cindy stopped in the middle of the living room, looking confused at Salazar, who remained leaning against the wall with his arms crossed. Oh, let me be cool and brooding, even though my doctor that's like coming to my house and is basically stalking me too. What's he doing here? Oh, he came to see me. She raised an eyebrow at you. What for? He was worried about me. Salazar inverted his gaze uncomfortably. Florence Nightingale syndrome? Salazar blushed. What's that? When the caregiver falls in love with the patient. Oh. Oh! My bad. Oh. So it is. Mareki. Salazar protested, his cheeks still flushed. You shrugged nonchalantly. You came on your own. I thought it would be just us two. Cindy walked into the kitchen and put the pile of papers on your table, glancing sideways at Salazar. Oh, right. What did you come for, son? I found out some things about the weirdo from the store. You sat down, looked at the papers with curiosity. They ranged from printed news articles from websites, newspaper pages with highlighted paragraphs, photos of people, and reports. Where'd you get all this? I have my ways. Cindy sat next to you, pointing at the papers. This guy, Jeff, is involved in many murders and also arsons. He's been a fugitive for at least 15 years. He doesn't have a specific victim profile. They range from street drunks to suburban families. He follows the same modus operandi. He stabs his victims in vital spots and cuts their mouths with a kitchen knife. The worst weapon, if you ask me. You rolled your eyes at her comment. Continue, please. Cindy frowned, spreading the papers to see them all together. The strange thing is that he's never been caught. The guy is very careless. He wears white clothes, easy to stain, has long hair, doesn't care about leaving DNA, doesn't wear gloves, leaves his fingerprints everywhere. They're looking for him in several regions, and he's never been arrested. He has no address or family, and his past, who he used to be, are not even known exactly. What strikes me is that for a simple guy, his level of convenience surpasses normal. He manages to escape fire, avoid security cameras, even knows how to climb walls. It's like he has the script on his side. Script? What are you talking about? I don't mean it literally. It's like the universe is on his side. Ugh, that was close. We don't need another character. Narrative self-awareness. But now that Cindy mentioned it, it was true. They supposedly gave his physical description on the news, and yet he managed to follow you during the day, or to go to a bar at night. It was as if he was invincible to others. No plot twist. That he's actually part of your imagination, or that he's a ghost. Jeff is just very elusive. All the more reason you need to be careful, Mareki. He'll come back for you. He already did, and he'll do it again. But you can't say that out loud. What are you talking about? I think he's obsessed with Mareki. Cindy looked at you seriously. If that's the case, you can't stay here, at least not on your own. So what's the idea? Do you plan to stay with me 24/7? Guys. Oh no, it is. It's not the most elegant solution, but I'll make sure you're okay. I can protect you. Suddenly, Cindy and Salazar looked at each other in silence. I'll stay with Maraki. I'm their co-worker. We've known each other longer. I'm their doctor. I have a duty to look after their well-being. What are you doing? What you're doing coming to their house is totally unprofessional for a doctor. You could say they're stalking. You could say you're stalking Maraki. How did you know where they lived? Where did you see that in their profile? We met yesterday. It was pure coincidence. I'd even say it was fate. Sydney snorted and an ironic laughed. Are you going to talk about fate? Seriously? Guys, can we just relax for a moment? They both fell silent and looked at you. You looked at them both with boredom. Are you going to let me bathe? I'm still in my pajamas. Suddenly both looked away, their cheeks flushed. Oh, sure. I'm sorry, go ahead. You retreated from the kitchen and went to the bathroom. You didn't expect so many visitors, nor that they would come to your rescue. It almost seemed like you had put on pheromone perfume or something, attracting so many people. In the end, they both decided to stay with you during the day. The plan to go to a hotel had fallen through, as it could be said you were trapped inside your apartment. If you showed any interest in leaving, Sydney and Salazar would jump up and follow you like a baby ducks to their mother. So you couldn't afford to go to a hotel with two other people, plus you didn't want to owe them if they offered to pay. Being watched was becoming tiresome. Until nightfall. With every minute, your nerves rose, because the darker it got, the greater the probability that Jeff would arrive. It's getting late, Sydney. It's getting late, Sydney. You should go home. Me? What about you? Don't you have a job to do at the hospital? My shift starts tomorrow. Yes, well, I know Mareki better. If someone would stay tonight, it would be me. What's safer than a doctor? Sydney and Salazar glared at each other while you waited. I don't want both of you here tonight. Having you all day was enough. And then you decide. What? Either we both stay or one, but not none. To corner you, they knew how to work as a team, didn't they? We're gonna want to save here. Let's do Salazar. I choose the doctor. Salazar smiled triumphantly. Seriously? You shrugged. The chance to spend the night with a handsome doctor? You didn't want to miss it. Don't worry. I'll take good care of Mareki. You better. Woo, woo. Sydney gathered her things and headed for the door. You followed her to open it and say goodbye. Thanks for coming, really. I guess I need to feel cared for. Sydney glanced at you sideways and smiled faintly. Yeah, anytime. She wrapped her arm around your shoulder and gave you a kiss on the cheek as a farewell. Sydney disappeared from the door and you were left with Salazar. Do you want dinner? Oh, I can cook something. No, sir. You're doing too much just by staying here. Let me serve you. I'll help you then. You chuckled softly at his insistence. He was undeniably cute. You both began to move around the kitchen. I don't think I should flirt. Chat. So, are you an ophthalmologist or something? I'm a surgeon. How long have you been practicing? I completed my residency 4 years ago. It was tough, especially because I have ADHD. But with the help of professors, I managed. I'm glad. I'm living proof that you do an excellent job. Salazar smiled at your words, watching you take out ingredients for cooking. What are we having for dinner? Spaghetti with... I want to say bolognese, but I don't know. Oh, that's delicious. You like it? I'd say it's my favorite dish. You both sat down at the table and ate. Yay! Oh, I want spaghetti now. I'm kind of hungry now. The evening felt quite intimate, almost like a date. Don't mention it. Does it suit your taste? Yes, definitely. I don't want him to get killed again, guys. You cook well. Don't exaggerate. It's a simple dish. Salazar faintly smiled at you, murmuring to himself, I could eat it every day. So tell me, Mariki, what do you do? Oh, it's no big deal. I'm just an attendant at a video store. Oh, like a Blockbuster? Basically, but it's just a local store, not a chain. The owner is a cinema lover and also Sin's favorite father. Ah, I see. No nepotism? Not at all. In fact, I think my boss is frustrated that Sydney doesn't share his passion. What about you? What? Are you passionate about movies? Of course, it's what makes me enjoy my job a little more. Anyway, my last memory from there isn't very pleasant. I still had both eyes. Salazar shifted uncomfortably at your comment. I wish I could have saved your eye, but I understand. Don't worry. The human body is fragile. True. It's impossible for us to create an organ or limb at will. We must protect our bodies. The seriousness in Salazar's voice left you silent. Of course, as a doctor, it was part of his job to look after the safety of the human body. But you could see genuine concern for life. Seeing the empty plates, you made a move to get up, but Salazar stopped you with a gesture of his hand. I'll do the dishes. You threw up your hands in defeat. Whatever you say. You watched him get up with the used plates, utensils, and glasses and to go to the sink, starting to maneuver with the water and detergent. You stayed close, admiring the broadness of his back and his moving arms. So, I only have one bed. The plates slipped from Salazar's hands, but fortunately, they stayed in the sink. Don't worry, I can sleep on the sofa. I couldn't abuse your hospitality. Calm him? Hey, calm down. We don't have to do anything. But I don't like the idea of leaving you alone with a loose killer. Better together than separate, right? Okay. You nodded slightly, restraining him from the kitchen. I'll go get ready for bed. He's gonna die. You went to the bathroom, where you showered and put on your sleep clothes. For a moment, you stopped in front of the mirror. You were a little nervous about spending the night with Salazar, but there was something else. If Jeff came... No, you shouldn't think that way. He was a coward. He only attacked you when you were alone. Yes, that was certain. Technically, having someone with you avoided it. He himself had said that this game was between the two of you, so Jeff shouldn't involve Salazar. With that in mind, you left the bathroom and went back to the kitchen to look for Salazar. The bathroom is free if you want to use it. Oh, thanks. My room is the door across. Yeah. You nodded silently and went back to the way you came, this time heading for your room. You lay down on the bed, making sure to leave space for Salazar. From your spot, you heard the lights being turned off and on and the water running. A few moments later, Salazar walked slowly towards you as if fearing to startle you. Go ahead, I don't bite. Oh. Oh, hey. In the dim light, you could see him smiling faintly at your joke, but he remained silent as he settled underneath the cover. He's gonna die. He's gonna die. He's gonna die. He was careful, but couldn't help but brush his leg against yours. I'm sorry, I didn't... It's okay. I'm not that fragile, you know? He looked at you, his eyes shining in the dim light. He's gonna die. I'm afraid that by thinking that, you won't be careful. Is this one of the... In the end, it all came back to what happened with Jeff. This one of the... Oh. Oh, there's like 4 different ways this can go. Wow, okay. In the end, it all came back to what happened with Jeff. Perhaps if he hadn't attacked you, you would never have met Salazar. Why me? What's so special about me? Unexpectedly, you felt his hand brush your cheek, and his thumb gently caressed it. I don't know, maybe it's because it's you. He chuckled softly. It's strange, I feel like I know your face, but I can't describe it in words. But even so, I like you. Your heart raced at his words, feeling the air between you two grow warm. Good night. Rest well, Maraki. He's gonna be dead. Close your eye, concentrating on your breathing and his, to fall asleep. Soon you succeeded. You weren't sure if you were dreaming when you thought you heard a noise, but when you reached out to Salazar, you realized he wasn't in bed. And he's dead. You got up and quietly left your room. You heard nothing, but that didn't calm you. You immediately reached the living room where you witnessed the worst case scenario. Is this a picture? It is. So I'm wondering if It's either gonna be this is like Sydney or something. Jeff has Salazar pinned by the neck, the tip of the knife pointed at his throat. At what point did Jeff come in? Salazar get up and they confront each other? That must have made a noise, but you had no idea. Seems Jeff is very good at what he does. Mareki, I said I'd be back. Yeah, I can tell. I advise you to be more careful. I advise you to be careful what you say. Someone could get hurt. Jeff brought the knife closer to Salazar's neck. Seriously? They're looking for you. They're looking for you for attacking me, and now you're going to hurt another person? Think a little, Jeff. That means more cops looking for your head. So, you won't mind if I do this, will you? Jeff cut Salazar's cheek, causing him to gasp as the blade slices into his skin. Wait. This is between us two, remember? There's no need to involve him. How? Jeff moves the knife away from Salazar's neck and instead buries it into his shoulder. Ooh, that's awful. Salazar lets out a scream that is quickly silenced by Jeff's hand. You watch as the two struggle until Jeff pulls the knife away and Salazar falls to the ground, his wound bleeding constantly. Mareki, run! Don't bother, handsome. Jeff stretched a mocking smile. There is a new jurisdiction. Jeff ignores Salazar's body and advances toward you, his milky eye shining in the dim light. You manage to run, maybe lock yourself in the bathroom or your room, but you're not gonna go chew. Zelda, you're not gonna go chew on it, are you? I'll be watching and listening. I promise. But your wrist is held by Jeff, preventing you from moving. It's funny. I don't want to hurt you. Not like before, at least. Why would that be? He likes you. Maybe it's because you like me? What? You know, you're interested in me? You have a crush on me? You just said the first thing that came to your mind, hoping he would stop. Oh, I see. Jeff leans toward you, his smile stretched more than usual, and his eyes... I want you. You! Jeff lets... maybe... Hold on. Maybe you want to leave me alone? Nah, it's not like that. Quite the opposite. So you have a thing for me? You just said the first thing that came to your mind, hoping he would stop. It's the same thing. Okay, it doesn't matter what you pick. Oh, I see. Jeff leans toward you, smile stretched more than usual, his eyes wide. I want you. You! Jeff lets out a shrill laugh. You don't know whether to smile or be horrified. That explains a lot. The grip on your hand tightens and he pulls you closer. Wait, what are you doing? I've already discovered what I want. I don't want to play with you anymore. A part of you felt relieved at her words, or his words, but when Jeff pulled you towards him, causing you to crash into his chest, you felt cold. I want to have you for myself. Then you realize he's leading you to the exit. Uh-oh. In an instant, you saw Salazar's body still motionless on the ground, and a pang of worry passed through you. What about... Don't think about him. Your cheeks are cupped in two large cold hands, and you feel something wet splash against your skin. By the smell, you could tell it's blood. Jeff's bangs brush against your forehead, and all you can see are his eyes. Just focus on me. You've seen what he's capable of. He didn't just hurt you, he hurt everyone. That made you consider his words deeply. Day 6. The sensation beneath your body was hard and rough. The mattress was evidently very old and of poor quality. Even though you had woken up, you kept your eyes closed, reflecting on what had happened to bring you to where you were. Jeff had dragged you, forcing you to run with him. The cold of dawn entered your lungs, while the streetlights illuminated your path. You traveled many streets. You didn't know how far he was taking you. At your request, you occasionally asked him to stop to rest. Jeff agreed, and while you caught your breath, he watched the surroundings. As soon as you felt better, he took your rest and dragged you again. Finally, you arrived at a dilapidated neighborhood full of trash, encampments, and houses in poor condition. Jeff's house was no exception. He remembered him saying it was where he was staying for the moment, as he invited you into a small, rundown house. Since it was night, and he didn't want to turn on the lights, assuming there was electricity, you couldn't see the interior wall. Well, couldn't see the interior well. But, Zelda, what you doing underneath there, silly? What you doing underneath there? You're such a silly girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I need good dog pats. But from the smell of the dampness and dust, plus the crunch under your feet, you could assume the place was not in good condition. Fortunately, Jeff offered the bed specifically for you, saying he had things to do. Are you still pretending to sleep? You curse internally at Jeff's voice. You look like Momo. You open your eye and found something you didn't expect to be the first thing you'd see. Oh, my bad. You see that day. Good morning, Mareki. Jeff was leaning on the edge of the bed, inches from you. He stared at you fixedly. Oh, you were grabbing your ball. I was like, what the? I could hear scratching. He stared at you fixedly, tracing every inch of your face. Morning. It was strange to be with Jeff and for him not to intend to hurt you. Sure, the bar thing happened, but you were still on guard because of what he did last night. It was also curious to see him without his usual white hoodie. Seeing his bare arms and the silhouette of Jeff's waist felt like seeing a Victorian woman's ankles. Yeah, Jeff nodded slightly at a greeting, maintaining a smile. No need for so much caution. I don't want to kill you anymore. Well, that sounded reassuring, but it was Jeff. The guy was anything but trustworthy. Be positive? Suspect. I don't believe you. Jeff chuckled, touching the tip of your nose with his index finger. Let's go have breakfast. He avoided you, didn't he? He stood up and remained standing by the bed, looking at you expectantly. Oh. Wow. You slowly stood up and you found yourself in a very large but quite dilapidated room. There was no furniture besides the bed, but at least the window wasn't broken. Then you realized you were only in your sleepwear and barefoot. Did you really run through several streets without stepping on a nail or a piece of glass? Lucky you didn't get tetanus. I don't have shoes. Jeff looked away thoughtfully. Wait. Jeff disappeared through the door, and you heard movement from the other side of the room. Soon, Jeff appeared with 2 slippers, each of a different size. That's what I found handy. Then we'll look for clothes for you. You accepted the slippers with resignation. They weren't torn or dirty, just a bit dusty. They were mismatched sizes. One fits you well, and the other was loose. But it was better than walking on tetanus. Thanks. Jeff smiled broadly at your gratitude. You could even see a blush creep on his face. Come. Oh. Jeff took your wrist, his grip firm, but it didn't hurt. He pulled you along, but unlike other times, it was gentle and calm. He led you through the house, to what would be a dining area with a table and 2 chairs. There was a mini fridge and a kitchen in the adjacent room, but you doubted they worked. I brought breakfast. A skim milk latte. He extended a paper cup to you and you took it. It was warm. Well, did I know your preference? His smile turned mocking. Come on, Marky. You're smart. Of course, it was because he had been following you for days. He surely found out those things by watching you. Don't think I forgot the edible stuff. A muffin! Ah! I brought you a muffin. That's beautiful. Okay, I'll get to the point. Are you trying to be an attentive boyfriend or something? Jeff tilted his head interrogatively. What are you talking about? You ripped out my eye. You snuck into my hospital room. You broke into my house. Do you want me to forget all that? How am I supposed to believe you love me if you've put me through all hell? Jeff looked at you with curiosity, then headed to the mini fridge. I don't want you to forget what I did. he mumbled softly, pulling a jar from the mini fridge. Just see it from a different perspective. He placed the jar in front of you. Inside there was a thick, transparent liquid, yellowish. Inside at the bottom, you saw a dark red stain mixed with black. Then he turned it. Yeah, it's my eyeball. Of course it is. It was your eye. You felt cold. Your eye is so pretty. I couldn't help but keep it. Oh. Jeff came towards you, holding your cheeks between your hands. Wait, what? But... Okay, I'm sorry. I keep messing with it. Holding your cheeks between his hands. But now I have something better. You. He caressed your skin with his thumbs, lowering his eyes to your lips. What we have is special, and I'll make sure you see it too. You felt the shiver run through you. You came to the conclusion that you had no escape. Physically, it was almost impossible to escape Jeff, even if you tried. By the way he expressed himself. You didn't think he would hesitate to chain you to his side, or cut off your legs so you wouldn't run. You couldn't ask for help either. Jeff would kill anyone who approached you. You knew that from experience. Makes sense. He's insane? Okay. You're crazy. Jeff let out a strident laugh, lowering his hands to your shoulders. Completely. Okay. I'll eat your stupid breakfast. Jeff smiled broadly, leaning towards you. For a moment, you thought he was going to kiss you, so you closed your eyes, but you felt a light touch on your forehead. Jeff kissed your forehead for a sec. Oh, what was that sound? For a few seconds, then released you and sat at the table. You followed his example. Other way. Oh, okay. No, we're not. I'm so sorry. We're not doing that again. You followed his example and sat down. In silence, you drank the latte and ate the snack he brought you. Where did you get this? Don't you think I know about food chains? There's a coffee shop branch a few blocks from here. Did you have breakfast? Jeff blushed slightly, smiling affectionately. Yeah, hours ago. I'm sorry I didn't join you, but our schedules are different. What if you joined me for dinner? Oh, I'd love that. You heard him sigh softly. Wait, did you pay for this with money? Jeff tilted his head, as if raising an eyebrow he didn't have. How else could I have gotten it? I don't know. Armed robbery? I'm not that careless. They're already looking for me for murder and arson. I'm not adding robbery to the list. And where did you get the money? Well, it would be a waste not to keep the money from some of the people I kill. The way he calmly admitted to killing people is chilling. Geez, you're pathetic. It's not enough for you to kill people. You robbed them too. Hey, at least those murders aren't attributed to me. They're outside my modus operandi, and they're considered robbery. Okay. That's no reason to be proud, Jeff. Nothing you say is a reason to be proud. You're adorable when you judge me. Oh no, he's completely fallen, but you couldn't let your guard down, nor take the advantage of it. However foolishly in love he may seem, he was still a maniac who, from what you'd recently learned, was more calculating than he appeared. Have you ever been in love before? I think once, if you can call it that. Oh, with whom? A woman I spent 3 nights with. Gross. Not that way, it was intimate in another way. We talked all the time. I felt she understood me. What about you? Have you ever been in love before? Yeah? No? So what's your preference? Man, woman, both? Oh, I mean, I personally have been, but that's in the past, right? Right, he's the jealous type. Obviously. So what's your preference? Okay, didn't matter. Man, woman, both. Both. I have double competition. I assure you, I don't usually lose. The more I know about you, the more I like you. Can I know things about you too? Of course. Do you have a family? Obviously, I had it at the beginning. A mother, a father, a brother. But I lost them. Wow. Marky, you're smart. Did you kill them? Jeff let out a dispirited chuckle. You know me better than I thought. Do you have any friends? There was a time when I lived with some guys. It was a big house, there were several of us. Each had their peculiarities. But they're the closest thing I can call friends. They sound cool. They weren't. Believe me. They sound weird. Ha, they were. The owner of the house was expressionless. One of them was a cannibal. I think you can call him that. Another spent his time playing video games. One dressed as a clown, and a couple spent their time filming. A couple like Hoodie and Masky? So yes, they were weird. How old are you? I won't tell you. Oh, come on. At least give me a range. How old are you? In my 20s. Alright, I'm older than you. You really are... Wait, does that mean if I were to say I'm 30s? Oh, same age. Wait, go back. I'm in my 20s. I'm 20. Alright, I'm older than you. You really are not going to tell me how much. He's about 30. Jeff grumbled. So older, huh? Shut up. Flatter him? You're in good shape. Even if you're not that young, you look good. Ignoring how messed up his face was, of course, Jeff said, because he's definitely 30 in this, because if he was 15 in the store when everything went down, maybe a little younger, he'd be like 30 or a little less. Jeff said nothing, but you noticed his cheeks flush. Are you happy with everything you asked? It depends. I have one more question. Why do you kill? Jeff looked away, thoughtfully. At this point, it's like asking a bird why it flies. That's what I am. But it started with something, didn't it? What happened? Jeff shrugged. I was a kid when I started. The world was meaningless, and I hate humans in general. I wanted to make the world a better, beautiful place. And it was like that for years. It's fucked up. Wow, that's fucked up. Don't even tell me. No wonder why you're so messed in the ass. Oh my god. No wonder you're so messed in the head. Oh, I did say it right. Okay. Messed up in the head. Flattery, love. But when I met you, I started to feel things I thought I had forgotten. The words wanted to escape your mouth. Would you consider stopping killing? For me? It was late. You said it. Again, you weren't a saint wanting to kill a moral lesson to an obviously immoral person, but it was a question asked out of genuine curiosity. It wasn't a request. You just wanted to know. Unfortunately, Jeff didn't seem to take it badly. We could reach a compromise, just in case. You couldn't help but feel your heart race. Okay, you had to admit that until now you doubted Jeff was really in love with you. But if this madman said he might consider changing just for you, it was impossible not to be moved, even a little. That's very sweet, thank you. It was better to be on his good side anyway. Who knew what would happen if you treated him badly or broke his heart? Something told you he was very vindictive. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Jeff grew serious and went to the window, peering out slightly. It's a cop. It's a cop. Oh, did you forget to pay rent? Jeff bit his fingertips thoughtfully. I don't pay rent. You're a squatter. Squatter rights! I'm kidding. Stop joking. The knock on the door became insistent. You answered. What? I'm being looked for. They can't see me. You'll have to talk to him. But I'll trust you. Without waiting for an answer, Jeff disappeared into the house. You shifted uncomfortably, heading for the door. Everything's going to be fine, Marky. You've lied to the police before. It'll be a piece of cake. You opened the door, and in front of you stood a uniformed police officer. Good morning. Sorry to bother you so early. It's okay. We're monitoring the area. It's just routine. Have you witnessed any unusual activity lately? No, I keep... Okay. Save. We're gonna save, I think. Let's save on top of this guy. Okay, return. We're going to lie. I haven't seen anything. Alright. Try to be careful. This neighborhood is dangerous. You probably noticed you weren't exactly from around here. Close all windows and doors tightly. The police officer made a gesture with his cap. I apologize again for the inconvenience. You saw the police officer leave, and when you no longer saw him, you closed the door. You sighed heavily and turned towards the direction Jeff had gone. Jeff, you can come out now. You received no answer, so you took a few steps forward. From the darkness, Jeff ran towards you and embraced you tightly. Mareki! He wrapped you in a tight hug. This is kind of flattery. No, serial killer, not good, not good. He wrapped you in a tight hug, even leaning you to one side to lift you a few inches off the ground. You're amazing. Oh, yeah, I try to be. You didn't know whether to take the compliments well, as you had just broken the law. You had the chance to turn me in, but you covered for me. Being different. Yeah, I was there. I don't care if you treat me coldly. I adore you anyway. I wasn't... Wait, what? Jeff placed you on the ground and distanced himself from you, but his hands remained on you. I didn't take you for a pushover. I'll lick your feet if you want. Oh, don't say that. Stop! Don't say that. No, gross. I get the idea. That wasn't necessary. Jeff chuckled, raising his hands to your neck. His mocking tone was getting on your nerves, and he just wanted to tease you. He tilted his head, looking intently at the marks his fingers had left on your neck, which had faded over the days. You refrained from saying anything, feeling the air change to something more intimate. Oh my god. Your eyes met Jeff's for an instant. His normally small pupils were slightly dilated. He leaned in and lowered his head to your neck. Oh my god. All you saw was his black hair over your forehead. But you felt the first kiss on your neck and sent a shiver down your spine, and the second made it worse. Stop with the sound. I'm not gonna lie, the sounds really threw me off. But no. The sounds throw me off. I hate it. Oh, kisses don't sound like that. I don't know. I mean, they can, but it sounds awful. My bad. Stop. Jeff took his time, slowly and calmly, kissing your neck from one end to the other, caressing the skin of your throat with his lips softly. You clenched your lips to make no sound. Perhaps the whole situation was playing tricks on your mind, because a dilapidated house didn't seem like the worst place for this to happen. Oh, hey. Hi. You felt him slowly pull away and lean over your face. His long, messy hair obstructed your view, but due to the closeness, you could see his bright eyes and the cut of his mouth near you. You saw his eyes fixated on your lips, so you weren't surprised when he finally kissed you. The touch was soft, but you could feel his lips were dry and cold. Even so, it wasn't that bad. His hands moved up to your jaw, holding you firmly, as if he wanted to prevent you from escaping. You felt the possessiveness in his touch, but it wasn't aggressive. Rather, he seemed careful. Gathering courage, you raised your hands and wrapped them around his shoulders. Oh my god. Jeff groaned softly against your lips as he felt your fingers entangle in his hair, breaking away for an instant only to kiss you again, desperately. He lowered his hands to your waist and held you firmly. Oh my god. Oh, this is going on YouTube! This is going on YouTube. No, wait, no, go back. Yeah, no, we're going all the way. We're using tongue. You stuck your tongue out and lightly licked Jeff's lower lip. Oh. He sighed and opened his lips, giving you access. You deepened the kiss and felt Jeff melt against you. His fingers on your waist and his lips against your arms trembled. You caressed his tongue with you. The touch was soft and warm. Thanks. You felt your breath intertwine with his. He pulled you closer, the brush of his hands feeling warm on your body. Also, I do like that they made him like older, like 30 in this one. I appreciate that. That's cool. Wait, what if we said we were under 18? That'd be funny if he was like, oh, no. Until you felt him move his hands. Wait. I'm curious. Wait, I'm actually really curious now. Oh, no, I don't know if I can go back that far. Hold on. I got this. I need to ask. Am I able to ask or? No, I don't think I can. Aw, man, I wanted to know what would happen if, like, okay, we can come back to that. Hold on, we're going. Stop with the sound, stop! Until you felt him move his hand, I just can't. Normally you wouldn't have cared, you two were kissing. It wasn't strange that he was getting excited. This is going, I can't. Leave me alone. I can't. But when you felt a poke, stop! No! But when you... Oh, no. You decided to stop. A dilapidated house wasn't the best place for that. Even if you were in a horny mood, you had standards. Yeah, okay, you guys are the only ones that are horny here. You slowly pulled away, your mouth and his joined by a string of saliva. His eyes were blurry and his breathing was ragged. Okay, that's enough for today. Jeff let out a whimpering groan, not wanting to let go. What? Why? I'm not going to go any further with you in this place. This little guy. In this place. There might be cockroaches, rats, or tetanus. Okay. Jeff released you from his hug, but remained close. Imagine we saw like a huge ball. That would be funny. I want to show you how grateful I am. You can thank me in other ways. Jeff's face lit up. Can I lick your... Whoa! No. Get me some clothes. Lick what? No! Oh, right. You shook your head, disapproving of his antics. That joke was more annoying than funny. Jeff went to a corner of the room and picked something up. Here, while I get you some clothes. He offered you his white hoodie, too white. Why do you keep it so clean if you're always killing people? Shouldn't it be stained with blood? If it turns out he also has the superhuman ability to not get stained, this story will be classified as fantasy. I have several of those. I'm not stupid. I know I can't walk around with the same bloody hoodie everywhere, but why white ones? Wouldn't red or black clothes be better? I have a brand. A brand? Yeah, how else would people know if it's me if I wear different clothes? Let's drop the subject. It's going to give me an embolism. You're adorable. But yeah, you put the hoodie over your pajama clothes, and unfortunately, it didn't fit you snugly. Jeff looked thin, but his shoulders and chest were wider than they appeared. Like what you see? You were staring at him for a moment. Yeah. Sure. Oh, it's not your type. Oh, yes, sure. A guy with a burned face and a cut mouth is hot. Even if you say it to make fun of me, it doesn't affect me. I like how I look. So what if... Nah, what? Why not? You're too scrawny for my... Do you like more muscular guys? Or thick ones? Okay, I think we should leave it at that. Thick? What do you mean by thick? Oh, I can't go back anymore. Ugh, whatever. No, okay, I can. Okay, let's go. Yes, sure. Guy, yes. Blah, blah, blah. Dead dude. Yes. I like how I look. A man with confidence. Now that's hot. There, that's better. Yes. Confidence is what matters. Not, you know, whatever they look like. Jeff remained silent, but you managed to see his cheeks blush. He pulled out an identical hoodie to the one you were wearing and covered his face with the bandana and hood. We're going to the store? Better. A mall? You were kidding. You knew you couldn't go out like that. A guy who collects trash has a lot of clothes. He'll give anything for a bit of brandy. Trash. Wait, who? Gross. Relax. We'll wash it. I don't know, 5 times so you're at peace. What a precarious lifestyle. What did he expect from a criminal? Okay, so we were still on day 6. So what's going to happen on day 7? As he promised, Jeff washed all the clothes he got from an alcoholic on the street several times. So now you have a t-shirt, your own hoodie, sweatpants, sneakers, which, despite being your size, were mismatched. Who would have thought you'd get a downgrade in a horror romance plot? But at least spending time with Jeff became enjoyable. You both spent time talking, reflecting on things, learning from each other. You even fell asleep while talking. Hey, this is a great drawing. So it wasn't strange that he was the first thing you saw when you woke up. How long have you been looking at me? Since I woke up. You looked at him expectantly. So... Okay, I got... Yeah, this is probably Sydney. This is probably... I don't know what that is. And now we're on day 7. Okay, you looked at him expectantly. 5 hours. Okay, this was getting out of control. You didn't expect to attract the attention of a killer who would become your stalker overnight. In fact, it overwhelmed you. Did it really take you a week to love me? Is that so hard to believe? I don't know much about romance, but you're the first person to make me feel this. I want to be by your side always. I hate anyone who comes near you. I can't stand the idea of anyone else hurting you. You still want to hurt me, Jeff? Just smiled tensely at your words, and the air grew heavy. That was a question that needed to be answered. The thought of being with Jeff and him wanting to hurt you, it left a bad taste in your mouth. Now that we're good, I have no reason to. Did that mean that if things were bad, he would hurt you? Jeff raised a hand to your cheek and caressed it with his fingertips, his eyes scanning every corner of your face. And what about what you did to my eye? Jeff chuckled, and he felt frustrated that he wasn't taking you seriously. What would an apology be good for when the damage is already done? That had some logic, but it didn't mean you didn't feel resentment. He slid his fingers under the elastic straps of the patch, gently pulling until he unhooked it from your head. He had removed the adhesive patch and gauze, so when he removed your patch, he exposed your empty eye socket. Besides, I think you look better this way. He didn't know whether to feel complimented or manipulated. Either way, his touch was soft and delicate, his fingertips caressing the area around your left eyelid. It's one of my best works. His words sent a shiver down your spine. You felt your mind was confused. You didn't know what was right or wrong at this point. Am I losing my mind, Jeff? Jeff smiled affectionately, caressing your lower lip with his thumb. What's better than going crazy together, Murky? You remained silent under Jeff's fixed gaze. You were getting used to him observing you and not blinking. In fact, he wondered if he even had eyelids. Be direct. Be subtle? By any chance, are you an insomniac? Insomniac? Jeff seemed content with your question. Did you notice? I've had insomnia for years. That's why these dark circles formed. Oh, so you have eyelids? Jeff snorted sarcastically. Why does everyone think I don't have eyelids? Well, for my part, it's because I've been staring at a screen for 3 hours. Well, for my part, it's because I've never seen you blink. Oh, My god, he has eyelids in this one. That's crazy. Happy? Yep, definitely, no doubts now. Of course, seeing him blink made him seem more normal. Look at you, so obedient. I thought you liked giving orders more than receiving them. I have no preference. I know what I want, and I'll do anything to get it, but I'm willing to receive whatever you give me. Ugh. Yeah, I've been staring at a screen for too long. Are we talking about something else? Jeff's cheeks flushed and his gaze dropped. Take it however you want. You chuckled at his answer, and at least Jeff seemed satisfied with your reaction. You raised your hand and gently ran it over his left arm, caressing the marks and scars through the fabric. What happened to you? Jeff sighed, unconcerned. A mix of occasions. Some are burns from fire and acid, others are cuts from fights. Fights? Jeff? I didn't take you for that kind of guy. What did you expect me to do? Let myself be stabbed? No thanks. And who would you fight with? Many enemies. So you've left even more people alive. I only left you and the girl I mentioned before. The others either escaped or are simply seeking revenge. Wow, you're quite the bad boy. Jeff chuckled softly, his voice vibrant. Good thing he took it with humor, since technically he was everything wrong with the world. Hey, Murky. Yeah? Do you like me? Jeff, I don't go around kissing just anyone. He sighed, relieved. Jeff made circles with his finger on the sheets while pouting. Would you still like me if I were a worm? Wait, yeah, what the... Okay, wow, it seems like he's the high-maintenance type. Yeah. Yes. Of course, I adore worms. I don't appreciate my sarcasm, I know. You never do, and you still love me. Jeff straightened up from the bed and stretched his back. He let out a satisfied groan and stood up. I'm going to shower. One of the good things about that house was that it had water, albeit somewhat illegally. Jeff mentioned something about bypassing the meter. The fact that you had water was enough for you. Join him. Okay, we're doing this. I'm coming with you. You also stood up, but hands on your shoulders stopped you. If you come with me, it'll be hell for me. Oh, but I thought... Hell. Okay, jeez. He let go of you, and you noticed his hands trembling slightly, and his breathing was agitated. Ah, that kind of hell. You stay where you are, in the room. That's funny. Jeff gave you one last look before leaving. You looked around, trying to find a way to stop him. You didn't have your phone with you, and the house had no Wi-Fi. Fortunately, it had electricity, so you decided to explore the place. This looks like marble hornets. Okay, we'll go kitchen. You checked the mini fridge. There were many energy drinks. That explained the insomnia. It's a secret? There was a door you didn't know where it led. Considering this is... Wait. Before I even remotely touch that, we're going there. Or, yeah, there was a door you didn't know where it led. Or... Let's check out let's check out everything else. You went to the living room and inspected the furniture. The sofa was hard and the TV cable was broken. Oh my god, I recognize this image. Oh my god. Wait. I recognize this. I recognize this image like hardcore. I gotta show you. I gotta hold on. Oh my god. I recognize this image. Like way too well. If I could find it, that is. How far? Oh my god, how long ago did I draw it? There it is. Who's this one? I drew on... Wait, let me make sure you guys can see that. I drew on this image. I'm just going in as far as I can. But you can see that like the TV with Ben Drown in it, and the Jeff's on the couch. Tiki Toby's on the ground. Isla Shack is like in the corner. There's Hoodie on the side there. There's Masky. Yeah, no, I recognize this image. That's hilarious. I love that so much. That's perfect. Okay. You didn't have much to do here. Okay. Bedroom. You walked around avoiding the debris. There was nothing besides the bed. Okay, we're just gonna save again, just in case. We'll go to the here, and then I'm sure the bathroom, if we go there, it's gonna see him. Interesting. There's a door you didn't know where it led. Considering this was practically an abandoned house, something told you it wouldn't be nice to go in. But curiosity was stronger. You opened the door, and the creaking echoed through the walls. It was dark, but luckily there was a switch nearby, so you pressed it, and the place lit up. In front of you, some stairs extended downward. Of course, the creepy basement wasn't missing. You were lucky that Jeff wasn't one of those who chained people in the soundproof basement. For now, you went down quietly, leaning on the railing as you descended the worn steps. Silence filled the place, your footsteps echoing on the cement. The light also came on downstairs, so you could see the place clearly. It was spacious and cold. The walls were stone, and there were some exposed pipes, which explained the damp smell. But there was another smell in the air. You didn't recognize it at first, but you went to a corner, and there was a dilapidated piece of furniture. You leaned in to get a better look. Oh my god. Fuck. You recoiled in horror, witnessing a corpse. With courage, you looked at it from a safe distance because the scene was too horrible to view up close. You recognized the short hair and sized that it was a man, but its face was totally unrecognizable. It was swollen with greenish skin. Oh my god, oh no, I know exactly who that is. You noticed the white powder on it, and it wasn't hard to understand that it was lime. If it weren't for the lime, you would have noticed the smell from the beginning. You felt bile rise in your throat, but you covered your mouth instinctively to prevent it. You walked away from the scene to get some air. What the fuck? Jeff, did he do that? It would be ideal if he had nothing to do with it, but realistically, it was most likely Jeff. Was that the original owner of the house? Jeff had admitted to getting money from his murders, so it wouldn't be strange for him to do the same with accommodation. He chose the dangerous neighborhood on purpose because if the police showed up, they'd be more occupied with other suspicious activities typical of the area. It was a clear hideout in plain sight. But what about Jeff killing the homeowner and putting him in the basement? It was horrible, no matter how you looked at it. Jeff killed many people, among them innocent people. You never saw a hint of remorse from him, and you became his accomplice. You knew you weren't responsible for Jeff's actions. This goes in the album, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Wait, but if you didn't question him, weren't you just as horrible as him? You should feel absolute rejection towards someone like that. You should be incapable of chatting pleasantly with someone like that. But why can't you hate him? I guess you love him. It couldn't be. You really fell so low as to fall in love with a ruthless killer. What would be... He's kind of like a friend. Okay, no, you love him. You really fell so low as to fall in love with a ruthless killer. You had truly lost your mind. Anyway, you couldn't stay in the basement. Jeff would surely wonder where you were if he didn't see you, and he might get upset about your discovery. You went up the stairs quickly but carefully, given the deterioration of the steps. You reached the hallway just as Jeff came out of the bathroom. His hair was still wet, so he was drying it with a towel. Here, I'm gonna load this back up, and... I saved it. I want to go back to the bathroom. Can I go far enough to make that decision? Yes. And then I can't go back. Oh, no, don't skip. Save. Okay, we have that, and then we'll save here, and then... What if we go to the bathroom? You stayed by the door listening to the sound of the shower. There was a faint hum from the other side of the door. You only had your imagination with you, so you resigned yourself. Okay, it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. Okay, let me go back and we'll load this back up. There you were. I was looking for you. Yeah. He rubbed one end of the towel against his head and shook his long hair. Are you bored of me yet? His smile was amused, accentuating his sarcasm. Never. I would never get bored of you, Jeff. You're not saying that because of his good qualities, which are very few or non-existent, but at least Jeff seemed happy with your answer. He kept rubbing his wet hair, which didn't seem close to being dry. Is it too optimistic to think there might be a hairdryer here? Jeff looked at you with sarcasm. In this dump? Obviously not. Then leave it to me. You held your hand stem, pointing at the towel. He looked at you in silence for a few seconds, questioning, but then he seemed to understand and his expression brightened. Of course. Jeff handed you the towel and hurried to sit in the living room, looking at you expectantly. You approached him and stood behind him. He turned to give you his back. His hair flowed before you, shiny and straight. You began to rub the ends gently, sometimes squeezing the towel to remove excess water. Your hair is very straight. Before it was very wavy, but after the accident it stayed like this. Ah, right. You weren't clear on exactly what happened, but you have general idea. It was also brown. Do you have photos? Jeff snorted, amused. From that time? Not at all. Maybe on my old Tumblr account. Of course. You're so emo. Yeah. I don't... Ugh. You chuckled at Jeff's protest. He raised his head and looked at you from his spot. His gaze, usually distant, looked at you with tenderness, a humanity you saw for the first time in him. You continued rubbing his hair, this time on the top of his head. Anyway, I look better now. Really? Yes. Back then I was very plain. They compared me a lot to my brother. They said we looked a lot alike. That makes sense, if you're brothers. Were you too close? Yeah, we were. Actually, I don't even know if he's alive. I thought your family was dead. My parents are, sure of that, but Louis, not so much. How do you know? It's complicated. I understand. Is this another one of your adventures? You could say that. There's so much about you that I'm having trouble keeping track. Jeff chuckled. You don't need to know every detail about me. Better focus on enjoying me. He straightened up and turned to face you. Which part of me do you like the most? Bald spot. I don't have a... He brought a hand to his head, feeling the part where he had no hair. It's not a bald spot. Okay, hairline. Not that either. It's part of my scars. Okay, wait, seriously. Smile. Eyes. Body. Okay, bald spot's really funny. Smile. You really like it? That makes me so happy. You're very vain, aren't you? Jeff shrugged. You wrapped the towel around his head and gently pulled, making him lean slightly toward you. You looked at him in silence and saw that it caused a reaction in him. His cheeks flushed and he barely looked away shyly. He really fell for you. You can almost trust him. Ask about the body in the basement. Okay. Did you go to the basement? You couldn't tell. Baby, what is it? Zelda? Baby girl, what is it? Oh, don't bump your head. Careful now. Don't hit your head. Careful now. You couldn't tell if he sounded angry or not, but his tone had hardened, which brought back bad memories of your previous encounters with him. So you killed him. Is that really news to you? It's not. It's just that it surprised me, that's all. Jeff looked at you in silence, thoughtful. His expression, usually smiling and maniacal, was strangely calm. In fact, he was a little scarier than he was serious. When he was serious. Jeff, have you really thought about the situation? What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. You pointed to the whole place. The broken walls, the floor covered in rubble and dust, the broken furniture. You too. Also, what happened yesterday with the police? If I stay with you, are we going to live like this? Jeff's eyes become bloodshot and his mouth twisted into a grimace. Before you even realize that he trapped your cheeks between his fingers and squeezed, pulling you towards him abruptly. It hurts. There are no conditions for this. No if. You're going to be with me, period. Jeff dug his nails into your skin, making you hiss. He really was still the same. Should I rip out your other eye so you understand? Negotiate. I didn't mean anything by what I said. I just want to visualize our life together. Okay, that made him happy. Jeff released you and kept his distance. You felt yourself breathe again and your heart calmed. We're going to have to move constantly to avoid the police. I guess I could improve the places we stay. He brought a finger to his chin, thoughtfully. Maybe alternate between houses and hotels. But I can't promise you luxury. I understand completely. Just smiled, satisfied with your answer, standing up from the sofa. What do you say about breakfast? Sure, but what? I got some eggs. I cooked some already. Oh, thanks. Are you going to eat with me? Jeff chuckled, putting his arm around your shoulders and leading you to the kitchen. You've completely messed up my schedule, so yes, I'll join you. You arrived in the kitchen, and he went to the mini fridge. He bent down, consequently, his shirt lifted slightly, revealing the skin of his lower back. Unlike the rest of his pale skin, it was free of scars, or so you could see. You used your hand and pulled at the hem of his shirt, trying to put it back in place. Jeff's body tensed, and he slowly straightened up. What? Jeff was empty-handed and looked at you expectantly. Are you hungry for something else, Mareki? You were alarmed in your spot. I was fixing your clothes! Jeff looked at you in silence and looked away. So, is that your idea, or is he disappointed? Flirt? Wow, I didn't expect that. Mocking you more? No, flirt. Wow, I didn't expect that. Do you want me to touch you that much? Jeff shifted uncomfortably in his spot, shyly. You shook your head, slightly approaching him. Jeff leaned on the edge of the counter, watching you intently, waiting for something. You placed both hands on either side of his body, looking at him from your spot with a sly smile. Are you being shy? No. I just wanted to receive what you gave me. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Your smile softened as you approached him. The distance between you was too small to maintain. He looked at you for a few seconds and leaned towards you. You received the kiss calmly, having expected it. Jeff's lips felt a little softer than against yours, but they were still cold. His hand rose and gently held your jaw, his fingertips grazing the skin of your cheek. You felt your breathing quicken slightly, and he gently bit your lower lip, deepening the kiss. We're going all the way, baby! All the way, baby! You slowly slid your hand under Jeff's shirt, feeling his warm skin under your fingers. You caressed softly, feeling faint ridges. Are you guys hearing this, or am I insane? Are you guys hearing this? Oh my god. Mareki? He pulled away a few inches from you, looking at you with me as no, this better not. YouTube friendly. I'm just testing the waters. Jesus! Accompanied by your words, you slid your hand towards his back, gently squeezing his skin, caressing the hollow of his lower back. You like simple touches? I can't imagine what you'd be like doing other things. Yeah, I'm not doing that. His voice gently. His voice generally raspy, softened at your touch. Considering that was enough for him, you took your hands away and stepped back on a couple paces. Oh my god. You looked at his condition. I mean, what do I expect? I keep pressing the suggestive awesome because I'm like, well, we're already doing dating sim. Might as well go all the way. My hair keeps getting in my face. You look at his condition and were surprised to see him slightly agitated. Do you have experience with this, Jeff? Not much. I see. What about you? Yeah, of course I do. You don't? Nope, but imagination helps. No, of course I do. Jeff sighed, straightening up. He approached you and gently kissed. I hate those sounds so much. Let's have breakfast already. You sat at the table waiting for him to return. In reality, you found yourself slowly getting used to Jeff's company. When he was in a good mood, he treated you well, but when he got angry, he really brought out the worst. That was a reason to worry. I agree. Yes, it is. You're not biting the shelves again, are you? That's what I thought. Oh, biting shelves now. Be a good girl. Jeff approached and placed a plate with your breakfast in front of you. The table was still a bit dirty, but the plates and utensils were clean. You watched him eat in silence. You could see a bit of food poking out from the wound in his mouth. You have some food there. You caught his attention and pointed to your own mouth to signal it to him. Jeff brought a hand to his face and noticed a small mess he had made. Oh, this happens. Yeah, this wasn't working out perfectly for you. Not only was Jeff untrustworthy, he was violent, volatile, and unpredictable. If in just 7 days he fell in love with you, how did you know if in another 7 days he would hate you? Jeff, I have something to ask you. What is it? Does it still matter to you if I fear you or not? Before, he seemed very fixated on you fearing him, but now you didn't know what he really wanted. Do you fear me? Huh. Is it the same? Does it matter? We're gonna say no initially. I don't think it matters. He laughed thunderously, startling you. You didn't know whether to worry about that reaction or not. No matter what your answer was, it doesn't change what I feel for you. It wouldn't change our situation either. What would worry me would be if you got bored of me. You would tell me if you started getting bored of me. Yeah, sure. You knew what experience that he preferred honesty. Jeff smiled, satisfied. You both dropped the subject and finished your breakfast. The rest of the day was quiet. You even saw Jeff sleeping, something you had never seen before. Reality seemed to be settling in, and evening arrived. Jeff had mentioned he had some cash and could buy dinner to go from a takeout a few blocks away. But suddenly, oh no! Police sirens were heard. They grew louder and seemed to be from several cars. Jeff? He stood up and went to the living room, peering slightly out the window. The lights peeked through the windows, and although you expected them to pass by, they stayed. The sirens went silent, and you could see by the number of multiple lights that there were at least 3 patrol cars. You heard the click of a megaphone, and someone's voice echoed. We have you surrounded. Surrender the hostage. Shit. That alcoholic son of a bitch doesn't know when to shut up. Of course, it was pretty obvious that a guy who collects trash and would do anything for brandy wasn't exactly trustworthy. Jeff hurried to a corner of the room and put on his white hoodie. What are you gonna do? Turn myself in? No way. Come. He took your hand firmly and pulled you. But we're surrounded. We can't get out. Not from the front or back, but from underneath. You understood what he was saying when he headed for the basement. You heard the entrance door being slammed. Muraki! Oh. Detective Sean. You recognized that voice, but when you reached the basement, Jeff let go of you and went to one end of the room. Where are we going now? Jeff struggled with something on the floor, and you saw him lift a piece of concrete that led to a place below. Well, that's convenient. Through the sewers. Ew. Murky! Okay. You obeyed and climbed down the opening. You fell into the sewer, the water splashing under your feet from your movements. Jeff jumped down after you and pulled your arm. Come on, they're close behind us. You both ran, hearing several people following you. In the rush, you managed to glimpse the end of the tunnel. Where do we go next? Jeff? Shut up, I'm thinking! His grip on your arm tightened, hurting you. You both emerged into a stream in the middle of the forest, and Jeff quickened his pace. Aren't we going to get lost? Jeff remained silent, breathing heavily. He seemed truly a wanted criminal. He had gotten into a lot of trouble. We're in the woods! Wow! You both ventured into the forest, but after encountering lights from flashlights, you took a detour. The same happened on the other path. You were cornered. You had no choice but to go straight, but ahead there was only... You both reached the edge of a cliff, and Jeff finally let you go. In the distance at the forest entrance, the lights gathered and advanced towards you at a high speed. Jeff. Shit. More people approached. The crowd was a shadow, but you could tell there were many. You had no way out. Stay with him. Jeff? You're scared? Jeff. I'm scared. I'm scared. What am I supposed to do? We're gonna stay with him. Jeff. Gently you reached for his hand and intertwined your fingers with his. Jeff looked at you desperately, but upon meeting your eyes, he calmed down. Mreki, I love you. You smiled affectionately at him. The sound of people's footsteps approached, accompanied by desperate voices shouting for them to stop. You faced the cliff, feeling the sea breeze hit you, as if warning you of what awaited. You squeezed his hand decisively. You both took a step forward, and the ground disappeared beneath your feet. The last thing you felt was the wind hitting your face, and his hand's grip that never let go. Together forever. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. You're scared. I'm scared. Jeff held your cheeks between his hands and looked at you, not knowing what to do. Feeling the others approaching, his shoulders slumped in resignation, and he smiled sadly at you. I made you fear for your life. The words were in your mouth. You heard the sound of a gunshot too close to alarm you. Oh my god! He was shot! Jeff's chest turned red, and a force pushed him towards the cliff. No! So close. You tried to reach for his hand, and surely you would have fallen too if you had reached it, but a grip on your waist prevented you. Mreki, it's over! You tried to break free, feeling tears run down your cheeks. Jeff! You called his name because just moments ago he was by your side. Sean forced you to your knees, and you completely broke down. She wrapped you in her arms, but it didn't feel quite right. Shh, it's over. Her voice was soothing, but it didn't completely comfort you. So, that's what happened. From my perspective, Muraki, you achieved what many could not. You survived. So why do I feel like something's wrong? You built a socio-affective relationship with Jeff. He became both the monster and your savior at the same time. It's hard to detach from someone who meant so much to you. With time, you'll be able to fill the void he left. It's part of the healing process. You remained silent, trying to find a place in your mind that accepted what the therapist was saying. Our time is up. Is someone coming for you? Yeah, Paul is waiting for me outside. Oh, Paul! It turns out he was taken to the hospital in time. He was the first person you saw when you recovered. Oh, I see. I see you two are still in contact. Our friendship grew. He was the one who convinced me to go to therapy, no matter how much you refused. I'm glad for you. You nodded out of simple courtesy. You left the session and breathed deeply, feeling a great weight lift from your shoulders. How was it? Oh, my bad. Good. I talked a lot. Salazar I did. I talked a lot. Salazar smiled warmly. His arm had healed. You walked down the street under the sunlight and in comfortable silence. You didn't know what lay ahead of you. You would never forget what happened that week. You would never forget Jeff, what he made you feel and question. But you knew for sure that it was all over. Your life had returned to normal. Oh my god. Was there a better route? Oh. No, maybe I think this was the true ending. That was pretty good. I really like this dating sim compared to other ones. Like the art's very good. I love seeing art for him. Jeff the Killer by Jeff. Yeah. Thanks so much for playing, of course. But I like that there was different if you'd like to continue to see my projects, yes, go support them. This was like a super awesome, like, can I do like a little screenshot of this? This is from a video. Oh wait, I should probably. Hold on. But could we get an even? If I start here, it could. We'll see. I don't know. I'm getting a screenshot from my YouTube video. Um, that was good. I liked it. Very long, but I like that there was like different decisions. You weren't completely safe. You can make it harder. You can make like I might later another time try, turning it off and seeing how difficult it is. But we got like that's Cindy for sure. But yeah, no, that was a good one. I like the art. I like that there's different characters. There was kind of different love interests, but you couldn't actually choose them, or Jeff would just kill them, which is pretty cool. And then the ending, pretty good. It kind of just leaves it off. Like, I mean, maybe Jeff's alive, maybe he's not. But yeah, anyways, that was really good. Thanks for watching, and obviously no one was really on my stream, but if you're watching from YouTube and you watched this entire thing, or you're just watching right at the end because you skipped all the way through it because you want to watch the ending or something, hi, I'm not judging you. You do whatever you want. But oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the. We're gonna do another dating sim. I thought this would be a lot shorter, but it ended up being like 3.5 hours long, almost 4. So yeah, no, I expected it to be a lot shorter, and I was gonna do 2 instead of 1. But now we're gonna do the other dating sim in a different video and a different stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you later. Bye bye.